This is all getting cut out anyways.
Yeah.
You better not cut any of this fucking shit out. This is all gold.
Just keep the wall thermometer talk.
This
Please.
is all white gold.
Oh goddamn!
White sticky gold.
Welcome to the Real Comic Heroes Podcast. Your adventure into the world of comic book movies starts here.
Greetings, citizens, and welcome to another adventure of the Real Comic Heroes Podcast. I'm Travis.
And I'm Patrick. Got some
And-
special guests here today.
Hell yeah, we do.
Michael Winslow.
You
Come on
have
down.
guests. You have guests here that do accents.
Oh, we do accent so much. It's so good. Hey,
Hey,
be a couple of voice guys.
Just so you know, this accent is becoming troublesome already.
Oh, it's it's racist. Are you Luigi?
I can't tell if we're doing pigeon or if we're doing.
You don't sound like a pigeon.
What
There
the
are many
hell?
doves in this.
So many doves.
Off the rails
Sorry.
already.
Travis, you were saying?
Oh yeah,
I guess.
we're joined by George Hendricks and Jonathan Howell.
Yeah, that's us.
Yep,
Now we have nothing to say.
that's right. Yeah,
If we're
guys
interrupting, we
who have
cannot
no-
be stopped.
no
But
thoughts
if you
on
ask
this
us a
movie.
direct question,
Did you
we don't.
pause for applause? Because they're not going to be any.
I'll
Yeah,
add it.
Travis, can you throw
I'll-
some applause? Thank you.
yeah, I'll add it in post.
Great.
Thanks.
Add it post.
Yeah.
That's the bit.
Well, yes. If listeners don't know, Jonathan spent I don't know how long talking about this very movie.
Year and a half.
Year and a half talking about Mission Impossible 2.
For one
and
episode.
One episode at a time. One minute at a time.
1 minute at a time. Yes, my
And,
claim to fame is I have a podcast that is currently a little bit in shambles, but coming back. Minute Impossible, and this was done a couple of maybe 3 or 4 years ago. We did Mission Impossible 2, 1 minute at a time. So when they said let's do this, I said I've already done this, but now I'm back. So here I am.
Wow. I even wrote down this has to be the toughest movie to do 1 minute at a time.
Well,
No,
now you
there
know.
are
You
much
can ask
worse
firsthand.
movies.
Yeah.
Ask
There are
him
much worse
anything.
movies.
Well, just for the slow motion in this film, I was
the
like, you're gonna
cuts?
lose. I was like, how could you do this a minute at a time?
Hey, I did Watchmen 1 minute at a time. There's a lot of slow motion in
Is
that,
there?
and a lot of flashbacks too. So you're recycling
And a lot of
the same,
blue dong.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's 100% less blue dong in this movie.
Yeah. A lot more hair whipping in this movie, but
Mm.
yeah. I don't know. I don't know why I noticed there's so much slow motion in this movie.
Because this John Woo.
There's
and
a
he's-
style
Yeah.
here. Yeah.
He
There's
doesn't
a
know
style.
how to not slow mo.
Yeah. I
There's
just
hair. There's
I forgot.
camera.
Yeah. Yeah. So kudos to you for getting through that much slow motion in a minute.
I
It
helped.
broke us. It
helped.
broke. Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
Both you
that-
did. Travis and George were both on it. If it helps, we barely have gotten through Mission Impossible 3 because we're so broken from 2 still.
Oh man.
I will say though, up front, people that have seen this movie out of context are like, oh, this is kind of a weak Mission Impossible. This is not the weak Mission Impossible movie. 3 is the weak Mission Impossible movie. This movie, when you come back to it, is kind of like, that's pretty badass. It's pretty badass and fun. It's tonally not the same as the first one. Like it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand why people got pissed about this one because the first one is old school espionage, Mission Impossible. This one is fucking insane.
Yeah.
And has masks and weird like gadgets, and it's
Doves,
Nubbins.
slow motion, and hair.
Nubbins for days.
a love interest that's actually, it's more the best love interest on this is Gray Scott and his henchman.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You.
Well done, Hugh.
Well done, he. So these are just jokes from my podcast.
Yeah,
So
we're gonna
just-
recycle a lot of bits here.
I'm not trying to always be plugging here, but I firmly believe that Mission Impossible 2 is the Gremlins 2 to Gremlins.
Oh, I like that.
I
That's
could see
actually
that.
really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is
A lot of cocaine.
it's almost a parody in how over the
Yeah.
top it is compared to the first one. But they hit all the beats,
Mm.
but it is literally like maybe a half a degree short of parody. That's how insane it is.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna bury the lead because it's gonna be obvious when I go through this movie. I love this movie. I always have. I still love this movie.
Really?
Yes, I fucking love this movie. So
I can tell from
Travis is
Patrick's tone he has a different take on
yeah,
this.
yeah.
Yeah, I feel like we have
Um,
diametrically opposed views on
it-
this one in some
Yeah.
respects.
Well, and I'll jump into my history with it. I saw that I was 17 that summer. I went to the theater several times with friends and watched it.
Masturbated
Um,
furiously during.
just arcing ropes all over the theater.
Just blasting.
When
You and
I
your buddy,
was 17.
you and your buddy Paul Rubens just ripping it
Yeah.
in your overcoats.
Yeah. So
That's
worked at-
unfortunately the sound that Travis makes when he
Wow.
climaxes. It's kind of like that.
No, he's more like.
wow, that's the bluest this podcast has ever gotten. And of course it's when George Hendricks is here.
Of course.
I was working at the mall. That's when this came out, and I worked at the Finish Line, and we were an Oakley,
Great
we
name
were
for
an
it.
Oakley, dealership or whatever, and so
Strategically
all my
chosen.
disposable, income went to buying the Oakleys that he wears in this movie.
Oh yeah,
Um,
that's they're fucking great, man.
The Romeos is what they're called. So
Did it have
Yeah.
the ear?
they did not. That's
Oh,
it's the only
see.
difference. They don't have the earpiece, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Oakleys,
so-
Oakleys are still for douchebags. What I love is that
oh yeah, speed
40
dealers.
years have gone by almost. 30 years have gone by, and it's
Oakleys,
are
like
still-
the Dells, are for lovers.
Yes.
you
yes.
gotta yes.
So
They are
what?
the Wisconsin Dales of face
Yeah.
They are.
covers.
What? Patrick, what was your history with this one?
Saw it in the theater with some friends. I remember not being thrilled with it.
Okay.
Because your friends were vigorously masturbating next to you. While
Yeah, there was some guy behind
Would
me
you
that
please
just kinda-
stop?
You're hitting my chair.
This is a matinee.
My hair was stuck up in the back weirdly.
Right.
Yeah.
So crunchy. So crunchy.
Yeah, I remember thinking this was a lot like what's that stupid movie that is awesome at the same time? The Rock. It made
Okay.
me think of The Rock.
Yeah.
Well, it has
with,
it has
Nick
the
Cage
same
and stuff.
the same filters were used. If you wanted a green filter, you could not borrow it right now because
Right.
the
Yeah.
Rock
We're
and
all
this
we're
movie
using
are
it right
using
now.
it.
Yeah. I remember not digging it a whole bunch, but I think it has to do with what was said earlier, where it's nothing like the first one.
Yeah.
It's
It's
such
a-
a departure.
And it was weird seeing Tom Cruise doing like kick flips and stuff. I don't know. That and the hair was always distracting to me with Tom
Yeah.
Cruise
You
in
mean
this movie.
6 edit kick flips? If you
Yeah.
6 cuts for that.
I
kick
remember
flip.
thinking it was a lot. It was just a lot. It grew on me a little bit as the years went on.
Yeah.
Where I didn't hate it, but initially I hated it. I don't hate it as much now, and I think it's even like I didn't appreciate it at the time, but I appreciate the stunt work more now.
Yeah.
They have a motorcycle hug. How
Yes.
can you not? How
Yes.
can you not love that?
motorcycle combat. They're
Mhm.
fighting their actual motorcycles.
They're jousting.
I remember hearing a what the fuck kind of thing in the theater when that happened. They were like, what the fuck just happened? So I remember the coolness of Pieces.
Yeah.
As a
Yeah.
whole, I don't remember loving it that much.
Okay.
Yeah.
So-
Well, I mean, this is probably. I mean, I'm a mask guy, but
Mm.
this movie overuses masks to an
Somebody stop it.
ridiculous point. Yeah, I love the mask. I love the mask.
Okay, that's what I thought you were saying. I was like, okay, I can't wait to see where this is going.
I love that movie so much. I'm gonna do that 1 minute at a time.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god, that one's got enough chaos to keep you
Yeah.
entertained anyway.
Yeah.
Well, in this minute, we're gonna talk about his eyes coming out of his head and going "Wooga."
Hello, nurse.
George, what was your hit? I mean, obviously you've talked about your history with this show over on Minute Impossible, but what was your initial reaction? Do you remember?
This was I saw in the theater when it came out, and was like, that's not what I came to the theater for.
Wow.
And
Okay.
then spent years
Walked out in a
not
huff.
watching it. And then I think maybe like 10 years ago, I was like, I'm gonna do a Mission Impossible rewatch.
Okay.
I'm gonna even watch 2 and watched whatever was available. I can't remember what 10 years. There's probably like 5 of them at that point.
Yeah.
I started cranking them out, like Travis watching it the first time.
Right.
And yeah, I remember. Okay, there's more here.
Okay.
It's over the top. It's silly. It's absurd, but it's fun. And I
Mm.
remember like, okay, I don't hate it. I laugh at it and roll my eyes at it, but I can watch it and enjoy it now.
Okay.
Versus that first time, I was like Clone Wars level of this is bad.
Okay.
Because also, if you think about it, when you think about the actual the plot of this, at the end of the day, it's stock manipulation,
Yeah.
and you're kind of like, what?
Yeah,
No,
we saw that in Trading Places.
yeah. At the end of this movie,
And the first and Casino Royale, and like it's so many people like, oh, you know what's really edgy? Stock manipulation. I'm like, nah, dude, just
at
get
the
in
end of the
line.
movie, I love at the end of the movie though when Tom Cruise and Ving Rhames are running around, jumping around, and then they see to Greg Sutton like, hey, we had a bet that we couldn't put you in the poorhouse and get rich at the same time.
They gave each other $1. It
Yep.
was yeah.
$1. Yeah, this movie does. I mean, its plot is bullshit.
Sure. It takes
but
a
now-
long time to figure out what the plot even is.
The
'Cause they don't
second-
even know what they
when we
have.
get to when we get to the third movie, we didn't know that they could actually make it worse and like
Mm.
even more like nebulous.
Yeah.
I think that's when four is when they decided Force Ghost Protocol. That's when they figured out the formula. They're like, we got to have a real problem,
Yeah.
and we got to solve that problem. We can't,
fact-
can't be stocks, and it can't be
The fact
Rabbit's
that this
rabbit's feet.
franchise survived those two movies, and it's all Tom Cruise. Like,
It
there's
is.
no way any other actor on the planet would have been in the leading role and made those two movies after the first one. They would have said like, nah, pass.
Well, let's
There's
we might need
no
to.
way.
We've discussed it on our podcast, but this is something that, for your listeners, this may be the only Tom Cruise movies they've watched in the past 15 years because maybe they're not into Tom Cruise.
Yeah, he's only come up once because of Mission Impossible.
Tom Cruise is a fucking movie star.
Hell yeah.
And we all make fun of all the weird shit about his life, but at the end of the day, he makes great movies.
He's
and
entertaining as
he's a
hell.
force. He's
Yeah.
a force.
Well, I mean, but if you think about it, outside of Mission Impossible, like a lot of his other movies are not great, like Reacher and
Reacher's bad.
like
Oblivion.
newer movies.
Yeah, if it's
Okay.
newer ilk, like obviously Day After Tomorrow is a classic, but
Top Gun Maverick is awesome.
Yeah.
I will let him know.
but that's just feeding off of the original Top Gun when he wasn't even that big then. It was
Yeah.
just like we're gonna put hot dudes in airplanes and we're gonna make $1 billion.
Hot
adjusted
Dudes
for
and
inflation.
Airplanes is the next one they're doing.
Yeah, it's called Travis is producing it. It's called Top.
God damn it.
But this was
All right, get that explicit rating ready,
Oh, yeah.
Travis. And the
You
description,
just bleep it. Bleep it in
Yeah.
post.
too many rope. I don't know.
Yeah.
Try to make it.
Jonathan, what was your history with seeing this first time?
movie theater.
Mhm.
This is 2000, so I definitely saw it when I had moved to Chicago already full time. So I remember probably being like, "Fucking goddamn it, guys! You missed the whatever. You're off. This is not.
Yeah.
This isn't quite right."
But it's the thing is like they didn't fall short. They
No.
went so fucking far over.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's
Which
the
is
thing.
which is the dip. What if you're going to miss the mark? Do that versus be like, I want boring, whatever. I
guarantee I dragged my wife to this.
They
I
certainly
cannot-
made
definitely
the-
mad.
the first one for how far the second one went. That's how crazy this.
They
one
made
is.
this movie for the times that they were making it. It is.
Oh, this is-
It is just called Mission Impossible 2000. I mean that.
That's what it should have been called. For
Mask. It should be called Mask Impossible. All masks. I
Sure.
will say
Jim Carrey be the bad guy.
I was impressed that they actually hired a woman that could be a lead in this that was an actress, an actual
Oh,
good
yeah.
actress, as opposed to the first movie, which
A
was
model who
Yeah.
she's
got through her
wallpaper.
lines.
She's
Yeah.
wallpaper that she seemed like she was about to faint in every scene because it's just like I'm so
Wait for
tired.
thin and just.
I'm so tired. I need to eat something.
she's on that '90s model diet of
Yeah.
like
Oh, yeah.
cayenne water and air.
I mean, we actually went through a name change. Thany
Yeah.
Newton is Tandewa.
Tendiwe.
Tandiwe Newton, her real name, which
Yeah.
is great. I'm glad she's going back to her real name, but she's excellent in this.
Yeah.
For what they have her do, basically. I mean,
Yeah.
she unfortunately damsels way too much in this movie. Not her fault, but
Yeah, well, when you got Anthony Hopkins saying like she's a woman, She can lie and get a man in bed. What else
Oh,
does
yeah.
she need?
That's
Like,
that's an unfortunate scene that still
that's like
exists in this.
Hey,
But
that's dating this movie pretty
Yeah.
hard.
Maybe
Um,
he's had some rough experiences with the ladies, and he's been
More
lied
like-
to just to get him in bed. And
right.
More like
He feels
mission
used.
reductive, am I right?
Yeah.
Well, I love the opening that starts with Rade Zerbegia, who's George and I were talking in the green room. Just one of my favorite character actors. He pops
Awesome.
up in all kinds of stuff. We were talking about he's in The Saint.
So good.
You
in the
know,
Saint.
he's got
yeah.
a memorable little spot in Batman Begins. You know, he's the bum who
Yep.
Bruce Wayne gives
Hey,
his coat
hey,
to, and he's like,
nice coat.
"That's a nice coat."
Nice coat.
Yeah. What else? He's in Euro Trip. Like he just pops up and stuff. He's always the same guy. He's always this grizzled Russian or
Eastern European,
Eastern
fill in
European,
the blank,
yeah.
Slavic, whatever. But he's always amazing.
yeah. He's in X-Men First Class. Like when like he's the Russian, head of whatever. There, yeah. He just pops up in lots of
He's
stuff.
great.
Love seeing him and stuff. He's well used here. I think he's I like it starts with his narration and he's telling this story about heroes and villains and that
But
they
they're fun.
they created a villain and and a hero and you don't know what it is yet, but he is he's injecting these things in vials. It takes the characters in the movie too long to figure out, oh, it's a virus. We're dealing with chemical weapons and
That's the power of codenames, man.
yeah.
So is he trying to become the Kool-Aid man? Because he injects that red juice in him, and I'm expecting that's like, hey, bursting through a wall. Like, we don't know what it does, but he just jam himself, and he's like, I have to be wherever we go in 20 hours.
Yeah. It's this is the part that made me think of The Rock, and then it made me think of Outbreak.
Chemical warfare was
Oh, sure.
everything in the
Yes.
2000s.
Yeah.
Every fucking plot was chemical warfare, just chemical this, something sarin, something VX, something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
String of pearls configuration. Very elegant.
Jeez.
You know what else is like a rope, like a string of pearls?
Travis watching this movie.
Yep.
String of pearls configuration.
Ugh. Hell,
Save it for my rating.
I think this movie's just been ruined for me.
Yeah. Well, me too now.
I'm
Thanks,
gonna
George.
watch it, and then I'm gonna be like, "Oh, great! Travis is probably off somewhere spanking it."
Yeah.
Probably. No, he is.
Every
George.
time a mask comes off.
So do I.
I'm gonna have to. There's gonna have to be an after dark episode, version for this. So.
Here's a question. Do kids play Ring Around the Rosie anymore? I don't
Oh
think they
yeah,
do.
all the
In
time.
other countries, yes, where they're pure
they do.
and have
Yeah.
fewer
Those
gun
street
deaths.
waifs.
Yeah, it's big in Australia.
Oh yeah.
So the beginning of the movie, they're in Sydney, and this is because we're going to come back to Sydney, Australia. We're going to hang out.
We're
in
only going to
Australia.
be in Sydney, Australia.
Full
Yeah.
circle. Except we're in the bush or
Yeah.
Seville.
And then we meet. We don't know at the time. This is evil.
Yes.
Evil Ethan,
Dimitri.
and it's the first time we see his hair.
Mm.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
His luxurious hair that Patrick, for some reason, doesn't like. I don't understand
Oh,
that.
it's such a good
You
look
know
on
what?
him.
It comes back and ruins another movie for me, and that is Tom Hanks, the stupid demons thing that he does. That
Oh,
Da Vinci Code.
Angels and
Da Vinci Code. Yeah, the
Yeah.
second one.
So the hair screws up another movie.
Yeah, Tom
for
Hanks
another
with long
star.
hair is
that's
a
yeah.
mood.
He's a
It's
different. That's
a
a
mood.
different. Like,
It's the same wig. It's the same wig.
this works on. No, this is all Tom, baby.
No,
This is all Cruise magic in this movie.
he's got extensions. I can
No,
tell.
no. I
He
I
does
love
his
the look.
own stunts and Joe grows his own hair.
I don't know.
I love this scene because it does play like if you're watching it the first time, you don't know that this
No.
isn't Ethan,
It
and
hits.
especially because he's not even being called Ethan; he's being called Dimitri, which makes sense. Like he is a spy; he wouldn't be using his name with this guy, even though they seem very close. Close enough to be trusting each other.
Take that, James Bond.
Right? Yeah.
Never changes his name once.
Yeah. So I love how as it goes and you figure out that, it starts to have a sinister tone to it and you start to feel like around the time that he chops his throat, you think, I don't think this Ethan's a good guy,
Yeah.
but at the same time, we don't know how good of a guy Nikorovich is. He could be
Yeah,
he
well,
could
the
be
thing is,
making,
until you see that the gas masks come down, they're going to
Yeah.
sleep. This feels very vintage Mission Impossible, like
Yeah.
over the top, like set piece, this and that. Okay, well, they're going to do
That's
this.
what
they're
I
gonna land
thought.
the
I
plane.
thought that the pilot. I mean, we're going to learn who he is. I thought the pilot and the other guy are part of the MI team, and
Yeah.
they're doing this. And they're like they're doing a mission.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like, and they
Yeah.
they nail that tone
Right.
precisely up until the throat chop. You're like, whoa, that's not Ethan.
Yeah, that's a
And
little
also
extreme, Ethan.
the pilot does make the plane go down to 10,000 feet. So
It's the Rockies. He'd fly right over, right?
he's about to fly into the Paramount Mountain.
I will say that we don't have the Die Hard 2 Mission Impossible 2 connection because the airport where Die Hard 2 is shot is the old Stapleton Airport, and they're going into DIA because that opened in 1995, and he had already closed.
Is
the
this
other-
local? Are you giving us local
Listen,
color?
I gotta
Local
add
refs
where
will
I
get you
can.
local work, George.
That was my inside thing about the 10,000 feet because everything up here is a 14er, man.
Well, that's been airport talk with George Hendricks.
Airport
Moving on
mountain
to
talk.
weather with Jonathan Howell.
Fucking cold.
Okay.
It's Chicago in the winter, man. What do you think?
And now sports with Patrick.
Balls were thrown,
Arcs were
ropes
had.
were, yep.
Balls were stroked.
All right. We also get Richard Roxburgh, who is a gem in this movie, and he had like
Unknown
a little,
at this point. Unknown. At this
unknown,
point.
and had a like
Is it Roxburgh or Roxborough? He's
I don't know.
British.
He's
And
he's
everything's a
he's a
borough.
Kiwi, I think.
Is he?
I'm pretty
Same
sure.
thing, just with a criminal background.
Yeah. But I think he's playing South African in this, I think. But either way, like he was in League of Extraordinary Gentlemen and Van Helsing.
And also Moulin Rouge.
Okay.
Yeah. And Travis is like, I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
I'm not watching that or Dune or anything good.
No.
Travis won't watch musicals, and he wants to watch Worms.
He
This
he
is
hates
what we know.
worms,
Yeah.
but he likes
Oh.
onion rings, which is odd.
Travis does love Little Whorehouse in Texas. or
I do.
whatever.
I do.
Mm.
The scene also has, for the first time, we see William Mapother, who is Tom Cruise's cousin.
Oh, okay. We've got Dominique Purcell,
Yeah. He
very young
yeah.
Dominique Purcell,
Yeah.
Ulrich, and we have a second-rate Wolverine as the lead.
Oh yeah.
Domo Gleason. Don Scott. Dugre.
There's a
Great.
Domo Gleason.
Yeah.
Wrong decade.
Hmm. Yeah. But no, I love the opening kind of setup here with the plane crash, this heist, midair, and they think that they're coming away with Chimera. They think that they've got what they need, and then we cut to Jonathan. Where are they? I always assume he's climbing rocks out in because
It's
the
like
movies.
Utah.
It's okay.
Oh, yeah,
I know about
Utah.
Utah 'cause
American
it's
West,
next to
okay.
Colorado. Yeah.
It has something to do with, if my memory serves, it has something to do with its name, like Horse Dick.
Okay.
Let me look. Horse Dick, Utah. Hold on.
Okay, sure.
Look it up.
I think just because the movie is set in Australia, for some
Nah,
reason
that's
I
a
just
sep-
always
that's-
assume he's out, in
That's
Australia
American
or
Southwest.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
recognize
I'm right.
those.
Dead Horse Point.
Dead Horse Point. Is it Utah?
Yeah, Utah.
Yeah, Utah.
It's in Moab, Utah.
Hmm.
So you can climb just like Tom Cruise and Iko.
I mean, honestly, this is the first movie where he establishes that he's
Yes.
the guy that does his own stunts.
That's kind of what I thought. I wondered if
Yeah.
this was Tom Begins.
Because the first movie, while he was kind of the charismatic lead, it was all very kind of like, well, okay, now swap out, do this.
Yeah, there
And
were stunts and action, but nothing
was all
that
like wire
seemed
work
Because
and
like
this is
stuff like
his
that.
production company. Like his production
Yeah.
company is fully in hand. I
Okay.
know he was on the first one too, but that was like, it's your first movie. They're not going to give you everything
Yeah.
you want. In this one, this is the one where I'm going to go train for 4 months to be a rock climber. And they're like, okay, sure.
Yeah.
And then he does this, which I personally hate this entire scene because it gives me it fucking freaks me out every time.
Okay.
The heights and the jumping and the sliding, and I'm like, ooh, and like, oh, he's got scratches.
And his tiny little hands. He's got tiny little hands. So.
just barely hanging on with those nails. Yeah, this every time I'm like, freaks me out the same way every time. It's like watching Arachnophobia every time.
Okay. Interesting.
I know the tech of the ep for this episode. On my show, we had always a tech of the ep every episode. It was tech that you saw like each episode. Since this is in a much different format, we can just go through them really quickly. I enjoy the sunglasses bazooka.
Yes.
One of my favorite.
The sunglass missile.
It's so good.
That's a nice case. Yeah.
It just kind of comes out like, here you go. I almost feels a little like overkill. Like they're like, no, I need the sunglasses missile. And somebody's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Here's the thing. You think about it. He's on vacation. They just figured out where he was because he said later on, next time you go on vacation, let us know where you are. So either they rigged this up on the fly or the IMF has in its disposal a sunglasses case bazooka rocket that they just like, oh, we need that. We need a number 12.
Okay, this is also the first movie where we're going to see kind of like other people from at least IMF adjacent.
Yeah.
The next movie, don't even get me started on Mission Impossible 3, which is Mission Impossible 3, The Office Scranton, where they fucking have like an actual office.
Yeah.
This is the first one where, because remember in the TV show, we never saw anything but the team.
Okay.
Like this is what this is based on. Like it was always, there was an IMF team and there's the voice, and the voice tells you who you're picking up, and that's you're bringing in new people every week.
Okay.
But they weren't going to an IMF office. There were no like who are these guys who are these men in black with the rocket with the sunglasses rocket? Like who are they?
And the
they
first
must
one
work for the IMF
because you had Kittredge and you had that entire flashback scene where they eliminate the second team. And then you get everyone from the first team who gets killed. Right. So we see that there's an organization. It's not just like this like.
But they're not all of them are IMF. Like Kittredge is like watching the IMF. Like he comes
he's CIA, right?
Right. He's CIA.
Okay.
The IMF, I guess, in the first movie is a branch of the CIA, but by the time we get to the most recent movie,
they're all
like they don't even know about it. They don't even know what the IMF is. The CIA at the highest echelons don't know what the IMF is, which is interesting. They've kind of changed their jam as we went through this. They kind of went more Kingsman. Yeah, they went into we're a clan. No one knows except at the highest level.
And they also leaned into the whole like disavowed thing. Is like, all right, well, it's much more compelling if they're operating outside the bounds of their charter versus like just going around business as usual.
Patrick, do you know that this is the only movie that they actually aren't disavowed in? This is the only movie that is a sanctioned IMF movie, I believe, through almost the entire series.
Yeah, because it happens in the first one, right?
They're disavowed.
Yeah, disavowed.
Second one, not disavowed. Third one, disavowed. Fourth one, disavowed.
Oh wow, yeah. I think third killed me, so I never saw 4 and beyond.
Really?
Oh no!
Oh, man.
See, that's where you dropped it because 4 and beyond are phenomenal.
That's what I found out later.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
They are fun. They are really good. But,
we'll be back on in 2032 to talk about 4.
Yeah.
Just go listen to 1 and 2, and then eventually 3 will finish up.
Patrick, go listen to all of my coverage.
Yeah, we'll edit it in right here. So.
All right, just put in 1 and 2. It's about.
There'll be links in the show notes.
I think every season's about 160 hours, so you should be able to get through that pretty quickly.
Well, let's get through this a little bit quicker.
Good luck.
Yeah, good.
You got the wrong 2 people on
right. So I like the
edge.
Product placement with the glasses that give him the mission. We get Anthony Hopkins voiceover telling him what all he needs to do. Well, really, all it's setting up is that we need you to find this this thief, Naya, played by Tandiwe Newton, and bring her in, and more information to come later.
It's like go find this chick and come to Seville, and I'll tell you the actual mission.
Yeah,
it's like, well, okay.
This is the worst. This is the worst Mission Impossible theme song too.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we can agree. We can agree that this is like fart rock. This is bad.
This is Limp Bizkit.
This is like some kid sitting in his garage, just kind of like, oh, I figured out the Mission Impossible theme on my my pawn shop guitar.
Yeah.
The one that they put in the Limp Bizkit song is not what they play
right
here.
Yeah.
The one in the Limp Bizkit song is really good.
Yeah. This one is
remove the lyrics from the Limp Bizkit song, and it's actually a great score. It's really well done version of the Mission Impossible theme.
That's the only way I'll listen to Limp Bizkit is by removing their lyrics.
Right. Yeah. Mm.
There are a lot. This movie has a lot of most epic sweeps. This has a lot of
Oh man, yeah.
fabric, and
Oh,
this
sure.
is the phase. This is Mission Impossible Castilian.
Mm.
This is everything's in. They seem to have only shot like they only got Sir Anthony Hopkins, and he's like, I'm only going to Spain.
Yes.
I won't go to Australia. They're like,
You have
okay.
12 minutes and a trip to Spain to get
Yeah.
this, and then I'm out. This is a Mission Impossible ASMR because there's a lot of tactile like fabrics and clicky noises, and
Oh,
like
yeah.
it feels like an ASMR video that's a multi-million-dollar production.
I love the way that they use the footwork to hide her movements, and I like the way that they see each other, and she actually gives him the slip. Like, you expect him to be the one to disappear, but it's her that disappears, and then
That made me laugh so hard though.
oh yeah,
I just pictured her just dropping to the ground as soon as that thing came up.
Well, you
then
gotta
just
remember,
scurrying
sneaking away.
You
Yeah.
gotta remember, Tandiwe is a very slight person. If she turns sideways, she will fall through a sewer grate. So you got to remember that she has the abilities that
She
you're
was
not
hiding
used to.
under the dress of one of the dancers that didn't even know. They're just
Yeah.
like, she knows all the moves too.
She's
so.
been genetically altered like a
All the right
Suliban.
moves.
For those of you that like
Yeah.
Star Trek, she's more of a Suliban. She's got kind of a bendy body.
I was
Yeah,
just
yeah.
picturing it in real time.
Yeah.
How quickly she must have just dropped to the floor, turned sideways or whatever. It was just funny to me. I just laughed as soon as
Yeah.
that happened. But yeah,
In
I
this-
did like the clickety clack stuff.
Yeah.
She's a Naya in this. She's our catress burglar.
In this, especially in this scene, she gives me such Eartha Kitt Catwoman vibes that she
So-
she should have played Catwoman at some point.
She should have ruined her career in bidding
right.
Catwoman.
Yeah.
Who was
She-
it? Zoe
she could've made it
Kravitz
work.
in the new one?
In the new one, yeah.
Newest one, yeah.
She,
Yeah,
she's
but-
great.
she
No,
made
I'm
me think
talking
of
about
that.
Halle Berry.
Yeah.
Halle
Halle Berry.
Berry and the basketball,
Oh God, I
the
didn't
basketball
even think about
scene.
that one. Okay,
Yeah.
I forget. I think that has worked its way out of my memory.
Well,
And as she goes into this amazingly tiled bathroom, we see one of the first of what I'm sure the people that listen to my show will know is a nubbin. There's a wall
The
nubbin.
nubbins.
In this movie, you will notice, Patrick, there are lots of things protruding off the walls and off of the tops of things. So we called them nubbins. We were like, why are there so many? It's just a fucking it's a
Luther's van has a nubbin.
yes. It's like a wall thermometer. It's a wall. Whatever it's called, wall thermometer.
Thermostat.
That's not the. Thank you.
Wow. Wall
Jesus
thermometer.
It's a wall thermometer.
When you need to check the temperature of your walls.
Yeah, my walls are way too warm.
I like
then
the,
then here's the scene that really gets Travis going.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Scene with them in the bathtub, and
Oh.
she's trying to work around him. Yeah, it's a I think they have pretty good chemistry.
Yes.
Something that I learned on some stupid podcast. Talked about that she got this role because she was friends with Nicole Kidman, so they knew each other, and they worked together on Interview with a Vampire. I believe she was in one scene of that, I think. But yeah, so it makes sense that they are really good together because they know each other. So.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, you want me to dry hump your friend in a bathtub? Okay,
Right.
yeah, get her in the movie. It's fine."
You're gonna put an eye ring on my eyes. You're gonna light my eyes in a really nice way, like Morticia from the Addams Family for a few minutes, for sure.
I
This-
like it when Hispanic Eugene Levy comes in just to change his jacket, and grab a very well placed bottle of champagne
And
out of
he's
the
like-
bathroom, and then
The bathroom
leaves.
champagne, yeah.
The bathroom champagne.
Well, he's got a safe in his toilet and a champagne in his bathroom,
Yeah.
and his walls are way too hot.
I mean, it's Spain, man.
His
Yeah.
walls are in fuego.
They're all about the jewel tones.
So does the entrance to this place immediately go to the bathroom? And
Yes.
that's why he's walking through?
You have to walk through someone taking a giant deuce.
Yeah.
Is this a public bathroom? This is a public bathroom.
I don't even think this room is a bathroom. I think
No,
this is like
it's
it's a bath. It's so there's such elegance here that this
there's
is
no
like
shitter, is what
yeah,
you're
there's
saying.
no crapper in this room.
Maybe it's
Unless-
a Spain thing. I'm just
Wait,
uncultured. I
guys,
don't know.
what if that's the shitter? We never talked about that. What if that is a giant shitter?
They just squat in the tub.
It's not a tub, it's a shitter.
It's a tub
It's-
shapeshifter.
It's a shit trough, guys.
From what I hear, there are foreign bathrooms sometimes just have a drain in the middle of the floor.
Yeah, you
Um,
just squat over it. It's good for your digestion.
For like
God,
groups
Naya,
go.
Naya, you've got to get off me. This is a toilet. You've got to get off me.
Oh, they do a good job of cleaning it. Give them that
Really good
much.
job. Well, that's the thing about the trough toilet. You can really get a lot of water in there.
You get it angled. You rake it, and it just like rinses out.
Rake it. Oh.
Travis, now is one of your favorite scenes where it's like the POV down shot of Tom Cruise, but in the corner is her boobs like the whole time.
Oh yeah.
So you get to look
Obviously,
Tom
that's
Cruise
one
in
of
the
my favorite
eyes,
scenes,
but there
yes.
are boobs. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like right there, and then her boobs, like
Yeah, of course.
next to each other.
her boobs are in this movie a lot.
Yeah.
So they open it up, and there's a pearl necklace. Got
No,
pearl
it's a jewel necklace, Tom.
It's not even a pearl necklace. It's one of those horrible those things that you get your mom, those
Like a charm bracelet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a charm bracelet. It's so ugly.
Let's see, where are we at?
Yeah, where are we at?
Tell us, Travis.
We're on a road from somewhere in Spain where they meet up in the cars and have
Oh,
a little
yeah.
car crash love scene.
Oh yeah, they
Car
also
tag.
do. They play car tag just like
Yeah.
later on the motorcycles are gonna play tag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a car
This scene
hug.
reminds me a lot like I think when I would watch GoldenEye after this, I expected when Bond meets up with Famke Janssen on the road, I expect
Uh-huh.
that scene to go a lot more like this,
Yeah.
with them playing car tag, basically. So
Well,
yeah,
in this movie, they're actually in the car. James Bond, I don't think they're in that
Yeah.
car. in
Yeah.
that movie.
John Woo is really into vehicular intercourse,
Yes.
and that's all you can say about that.
So he
'cause-
built. I mean, it's just so you know the behind the scenes of this is they built giant platforms. The cars obviously they can run by themselves, but they also have ones where they're literally
linked together.
linked together and
Yeah.
on like a spinning,
Spinning, yeah.
like a table, so they can move it while they're moving. So
Yeah.
they can have these controlled things. This, I mean, it's funny that this is now considered a stunt compared to what we've now seen Tom Cruise do. We're all like, no, these cars need to be on fire, and he needs to have dropped to this car from a plane.
Yeah.
I mean, just
Yeah.
just Fast and the Furious. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we are our bar for car stunts is so high now. This is like, oh, this is car foreplay.
This
This
is so
isn't like
cute, yeah.
actual
Patrick,
stunting,
I
yeah.
also do every Fast and Furious movie, 1/4 movie at a time. So if
Oh,
you go out
my
there and look
gosh.
for
So you're hitting
Furious,
Patrick's wheelhouses, man. You're just like rubbing his nubbins.
Yeah, you got to go listen. We've done a
Rubbing
lot
is
more of
racing.
those movies.
Yeah, it is. Another
Uh,
Tom Cruise movie there.
That's right.
Yeah. For those who didn't pick up on that was a very good Travis pull.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Travis Bull.
Speaking of Travis pulls,
Oh man. I was hoping that would
Travis
just
pulls
stay
everything.
there.
um, did we miss the scene where
probably.
Ethan and Anthony Hopkins meet up?
No,
No,
this
not
is
yet.
after the car scene.
For some reason, I always think that one precedes the other because, yeah, okay.
This
Um,
is the scene that let me know I'm in store for a lot of slow motion.
So
Yeah,
so they meet here in their car crash
that's
meet
right.
cute. They
This is their
bone it
meat
out.
crash.
meet crash, and then they're in
They
bed
bone it out.
together, and then it cuts to Tom and Anthony. Okay,
Because you can see in that scene that he's already emotionally compromised.
right. Again, just good chemistry. I like how much they established these two together, and that's right. And then he finds out, oh, the mission isn't. We're not stealing something. He doesn't even know what the mission is yet, but he thinks, yeah, gotta bring a thief in because we're gonna have to steal something. And he finds out, no, she just has this ex-boyfriend that we need to get close to. So,
And more importantly, we don't know the layout of this villa that he's in. I think that Anthony Hopkins is in the other room
I would
after they've had sex. Like he's just
Yeah.
cleaned up and he goes in there smelling of sex and talks to Anthony Hopkins. This is how I think this scene goes. Look, it's during the festival of burning asterisks.
right.
So you've got to, there's not going to be any extra rooms. There's no,
Yeah, it's all booked up.
see, I do remember some things. I do remember that this, for some reason there's a burning asterisk out in the,
Yeah.
I don't know why. I do enjoy, and let's all be happy that the DVD quality and the TV screen, like the screens of these movies are famous. The first movie, computers are barely being used, and everything in it looks like shit.
Yeah.
All of the UIs they're
It's
looking
all
at.
CRTs and shit.
Yeah, whereas this is like starting to we're getting a little closer. We're in 2000, so we all remember what this computer looked like and how this felt. It was still clunky, but at the time we thought this was.
Yeah, apparently that's a Mac.
It's so thick. It's
Oh, yeah.
so
So
thick.
thick, but that's a MacBook.
MacBook thick.
Yeah.
It's a crossover
Yeah.
tie-in.
It's as
Product
thick
placement.
as a Big Mac. They're like,
That's
no,
what
no,
they
no,
called
Name
it.
for it.
It was the Big Mac.
Yeah.
Yep.
I really like. I know he only pops up in this movie. I like Anthony Hopkins in this movie. I like his vibe. He's just real dismissive of this whole operation, and that could just be Anthony Hopkins is like, yeah, you got me for
Yeah.
2 days. I'm not gonna put on a wardrobe. I'm just gonna wear a very simple outfit. I'm not gonna do much but walk around and say some lines and just be Anthony Hopkins, and he
Do you
nails
think
it.
him and Tandiwe had like some catch-up times during Westworld talking about Mission
right.
Impossible days?
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
he said,
Were
like,
you
yeah,
on
let's
that
shoot this.
set? Because I wasn't.
He's like, I don't remember. I was there for 2 days. And I did not show my boobs once.
And we didn't talk about this originally because every time you see it, it's new bits come into my mind. The bit I have right now reminds me a lot of The Phantom, another episode of this show I was on. Because I'm wondering, is he real? Is Anthony Hopkins a ghost?
Oh,
He never interacts with any other human beings. And
Mission Impossible?
Ooh.
Ooh, spooky.
I'm sorry, Patrick. His hair is fucking fabulous. In this
It's
Yeah.
beautiful, man. It is
It
gorgeous.
drives me nuts. Like it is always flopping around, flying. I don't
Flopping
know.
around. That's not the way you describe hair.
Well, that's what it's doing. Like the car scene, it's specifically, it's like direction was Tom, whip your hair back and forth.
He doesn't have
Majestically.
dreadlocks. He's
his
not
hair
like-
does. I will say his hair
It,
does
like,
change.
it,
It's
like,
very
fans. I don't
majestic
know.
in the setup and everything. At the end fight, his hair becomes very Beatles like, very shaggy.
I think
It
there
is
there may have
different.
been
reshoot?
reshoots.
Yeah.
I'm thinking reshoot
Okay.
because that happens later on in not Ghost Protocol, but the most recent one, the most recent Mission Impossible. There, because that movie
Yeah.
was during COVID and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it was all fucked up. He is wearing a wig in some scenes, and every time it comes on, I'm like wig, 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 wig. Like this is his real hair here.
It made me feel like I was watching a shampoo commercial
Okay.
half the time. Like the amount of focus that is given to
Yeah,
his hair.
Mission
It's
Impossible
very
2.
Yeah, I mean, it's stylized
by
cannot
Prel.
be emphasized enough.
Sometimes it's hockey hair, sometimes it's more skater hair. I don't know. His hair is
Yeah, it's
distracting
long and
for me.
luscious. We call it on the show. We call this long and luscious, whereas
Yeah.
the first movie is considered tight and tactical.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he does not have tight and tactical again
No.
for another couple of movies.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He's
I
gonna
like
have-
the tight and tactical. I don't like this hippie hair.
Oh,
As my
yeah.
dad would say.
Patrick coming in with hippie hair.
As my dad would say. What is he, a girl?
I love the scene that follows this one where he has to kind of break the news to her, like, oh, all that skill you have. Yeah, we don't need any of that. We just need you to go sleep with your boyfriend.
It's not the skills of your hands; it's the fact that your vagina at one point was particularly under one guy,
and he's still gagging for it.
Ugh.
Gagging.
But she plays that scene beautifully. Like she does some amazing acting in that scene, and then later on when she first meets Sean again. But we'll get there.
And we learned that her boyfriend Dougray Scott, played by named Sean Ambrose, is a complete creep, and he's like following her using military level.
Right.
surveillance.
He just has a Google alert.
We
on
also
her.
find out he's like evil IMF. He's like rogue. He's like bad guy. He's like, this is what happens if Ethan Hunt were a bad guy.
But
It's
he's not rogue IMF because he's not IMF anymore because they
Well,
Well, he was
Ever
though
since
because
the
he's
plane
using
crash.
all the
right, but he's
IMF.
not like the evil IMF that probably exists right now in because
Sure.
later movies there's an evil IMF.
up until like this mission, he was just doing a standard mission. Like they
Yeah.
couldn't. I love how they established we couldn't find you because you were fucking around in the mountains, and so we had to use
Right.
Ambrose
A lookalike.
as a double. We've done this a couple times, so I love that they just give us that detail. Like
Yeah.
these two have worked for each other.
Yeah, I mean,
few
there's that whole
times.
tension thing. He said 2 times. He's like,
Yeah.
oh, you worked with them. Why'd you do it 2 times? And apparently the first time was not or the last time was not good because he was
Yeah.
like got that like I'm gonna kill him Tom Cruise face.
Yeah. But they just just don't like the way each other operate, and that's fine. But they wouldn't work together often. It's just, it's like when, if you have backup at work and someone comes in and leaves your station a little messy. So,
This is our first bug in the leg.
oh yeah,
Do we get a little tracker on
That thing ain't so little.
yeah,
that needle is thick.
yeah.
And that tracker is not exactly what I would call small, but
No.
this is going to be into the tech corner because this is where I got confused.
Hmm.
So this is supposed to be non-traceable except for like one magical satellite.
Yes,
Right.
One satellite and one
And
laptop.
one can,
Yeah,
so it's
not the best way
producing-
to build something, by the way.
No.
That's terrible.
Yeah, but yeah,
Feels like
we
that's
find out
open for
later
exploitation.
That's a bad idea.
Mm.
Yeah, but doesn't it still need to transmit something for that satellite to read?
No, Patrick, it has no signal.
I
Duh.
know that's what
It
threw
could
me
just
off.
be
I'm
like
what the
a
hell's going on?
Radio isotope.
a radio.
or-
Yeah, it could be just a very harmless radioactive thing that
Cylinder.
satellite is looking for. It's just
Yeah,
Okay,
Yeah.
that works.
it's gamma. It's gamma radiation.
right.
Yeah, I was like, okay, sure, we're just gonna go with it. Okay,
Um,
I was more
So-
shocked by how thick that needle was, and
This movie
Her-
is all about needles.
she's pretty tough. She doesn't even flinch.
So yeah, they have to come up with a reason why she would get picked up by Sean. They come up with a fake arrest, which is
Yeah.
believable given her, who she is, what she does. So he collects her. Meanwhile, Ethan is now setting up his IMF team, which the way that they do it, that we get the profiles for Billy Baird and Luther. It seems like we're gonna get a bigger team, but it's just these two
Nah.
guys. So it's
Why
just
would
a
you
team
need a
of three.
bigger team? We've got Billy. He's got the charisma of three team members.
He's the Jacko of all trades.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
We've talked about him before, Patrick. Just so you know, Billy is fucking useless in this, and I love his
okay.
energy. I love his energy.
I was
love
like,
it.
I forgot who he was after.
He's
Yeah.
the helicopter pilot.
Yeah,
He's the extremely keen Australian helicopter
Yeah.
pilot.
yeah.
I,
For no
I,
reason.
I dig his energy in this.
Yep.
Just the scenes that he has with Luther are so awkward and funny. The ones coming up here when they're
Yeah.
they're
Oh,
trying to find her signal on the satellite, and when they finally get her and they get the camera shows them meeting, and he's like, "Oh no, that's how you make an entrance, or make greet a fella." And he's like, "Oh no, mate, yours was good too."
No, he's good.
See, I thought there was gonna be a lot more helicopter action, like in the first
Yeah.
one, because they
Yeah.
focused one of two assets as the helicopter pilot,
Yeah,
who ironically doesn't fly the helicopter in, but gets dropped off in the helicopter. But whatever.
yeah.
There's more helicopter shenanigans in the third movie than there is
Yeah.
in this movie.
He's a
Yeah.
fixer, mate. He's a fixer.
Yeah, you need to
This-
find something. You need
You need to
This
track a
guy's
obtain
dingo.
something.
Yeah.
What I like is that this movie is going to cement the fact that Luther Stickle will never have to work again. Bing Rames is done. This is it. He will only do these movies for the rest of his life.
Right.
At this point, had he done in 2000, guys? Had he done what would he have? No, he would have already done. Yeah, I'm trying to think of like Ving Rhames movies. He would
Oh.
have. He doesn't really have any anymore.
It's like Pulp Fiction was early 90s.
Yeah.
There was kind of quiet, and then basically Mission Impossible, and then quiet for a very long time, and then
he
Mission
shows up
Impossible again.
In one of the like kind of later of the Dead movies, like a Land of the
Oh,
Dead,
yeah.
maybe.
But yeah, we've talked about this before. He has bad legs.
Yeah.
Patrick, he's got like really like
Uh.
bad legs. So as you watch him, like as the movies go, he
That's
can
why he-
run. He can run and walk in these movies up through 3, 4, and on.
He's the man in the chair
He's
Yeah.
the man in the van
because
He's-
he can't walk.
Yeah, I saw that
Was-
when he was walking out of the helicopter. He looked uncomfortable. We'll
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
But didn't he do? Remember he did this for the shoes. Remember that he
Yeah.
bought those really expensive shoes for
I
this.
thought he was
movie.
walking because he stepped in shit. I thought he was walking that way because of that, but now it makes
No,
more sense.
he's
Yeah.
he's a little infirmed.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
so don't make fun of him, Patrick. You dick.
Yeah,
God.
Don't make fun of his gimpy ass legs.
I don't know. I watched him walk out of the helicopter. He's got some. He's stepped in the shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got some like swagger.
Was he the tech guy in the first one, or did
Yeah.
they establish that here?
No,
No,
he
he's
was
the
the
tech
tech
guy.
guy.
Okay.
Remember,
okay.
he's the one
he
working
came in after after Emilio Estevez died.
Okay.
Spoilers.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, he
Emilio
was.
Estevez is not dead. You could live by having something go through your eyeball.
Yeah.
He's still alive.
I feel like it went further than just his eyeball. This whole thing was just
Yeah.
Anyway, bad feature in an elevator, but that's
These,
Mission Impossible 1.
This sort of minute where we're meeting the team up
Minute?
until
Perk me up.
minutes. Where we're meeting the IMF team, and it goes until Ambrose and Naya are getting reacquainted. This was my chunk of minutes for this movie over on Jonathan's show. So if you want to hear any more thoughts from me on this
Now,
section,
did we talk about how, isn't it this movie that Dougray Scott turned down Wolverine?
yes,
Yes,
For
this
Mission
is the
for
famous
X-Men?
turned down Wolverine.
This is the one that we're going with a weird Scottish guy. And like,
Yep.
okay, nope. All right, well, I got to go with the Australian guy then, because the Scottish guy is busy with big hair. And luckily for everyone, the world, it went that way.
Weird. Yeah, I can't even see that.
This is also where we learned in these scenes. Travis, can't remember if you were on it, but I know that Jeff Ferry was on, and he made the greatest joke that anytime you're looking at the sun, someone's having sex, because at this point at this goat farm, I believe they do expansively like Tatooine look at the sun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
that's when
yeah,
Dougray
yeah.
Scott is getting down with Tande.
While
And
Hugh, that catty bitch Hugh, is like
Hugh.
disapprovingly, and it's such a jealous lover vibe
yeah.
in this movie.
oh my god,
between
this
Hugh
movie, yeah.
and I love it.
Hugh is in love. Hugh Stamp is in love with Sean Ambrose.
Oh yes.
This is we've shipped this, Patrick. It is known. It is canon.
Yeah.
It's very homoerotic.
It's getting to the least favorite part of this movie for me with the cigar cutter.
Oh,
That's my
Well,
favorite
also-
part of the movie.
that's also another nubbin gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it viscerally affects me. It's good, but I really
It's
couldn't
just the tip.
do without it. Yeah.
Just the tip.
I called it the pinky circumcision scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's rough for me. I just don't like the noise. Like I think my imagination just runs away with this scene.
Yeah.
unfortunately.
I will say I was super happy that they showed everyone that Dougray Scott, Sean Ambrose, his house is what they modeled all of the new Apple stores off of. So
Yeah.
you've been to an Apple store, you've been to
This
Sean
is before
Ambrose's
Apple
place.
stores were a thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they had to come, the inspiration had to come from somewhere.
This
The
was before
iPod came from
iPods were a
Star
thing,
Trek.
Yeah.
That came from Star Trek, Next Generation, and then Apple Store came from Sean Ambrose's house.
Yeah. I like at this point they kind of check in and then they're like, we still don't know what Chimera is. Just so everyone knows, we don't know what the threat is here. So it's a fun little, at what point in this movie do we know what we're after and what's at stake, or,
It's an hour in. It's an hour in or 45 minutes in, and we have nothing other than Dougray Scott looking longingly at Hugh. So
Hugh.
That's where just so you know, there's a joke, well done, Hugh. It's one of those lines in this movie, and that became kind of like our call to arms. Well done, Hugh. Our Wolverine, everyone. Well done, Hugh.
Yeah.
The wrong Hugh.
Wrong Hugh. Wrong Hugh.
There's a slight, 007 vibe in the scene where they go to the racetrack.
Oh yeah.
And there's several things like that in this movie that have 007 vibes. I would say that's one. But I like this kind of has that edge where
Does his front door go to the bedroom?
all front
No,
doors
goes
lead
to the bathroom like all like a
You
Spanish
say that, but if you go back and watch, he takes her bag, walks in the house, and walks right into this bedroom. That's a weird layout. I don't think even Apple Store has that access.
When you come to my villa, there's a giant shit trough when you walk in. You can't miss it.
It's in the Spanish style.
It's covered in tile.
It's like fat bastard.
Get in your shit trough.
Look at your raked piss hole.
Yeah, by the way, that's right next to the bedroom too.
Smells delightful.
Well, Billy gets to.
Yeah.
I love that Billy gets to play the part. He gets to wear a costume.
Yes.
Yeah.
Billy's dressed as a train conductor for some reason.
It's a side gig.
Yeah.
You gotta have a lot of jobs in Australia. They have a weird economy.
I love that they open up this little book of the sheets for the race sheets, and it has a note that someone has typed out on a HP printer and then cut down to size like a Chinese fortune cookie. It says, "Put this in your ear." Dude, you've got to be cooler than this.
Yeah.
You've got to be cooler than this.
They're working out of a shack way out in the bush,
outback.
in the
It's called the
outback. You know,
Steakhouse.
hundreds and hundreds of miles away from Sydney, but
I like that the horse that they've picked is number 7, naturally vain.
yeah.
That's always a good little. I assume these are real books. At some point there was this horse. They
So
would.
we
I didn't
skipped
think they-
over. Sorry, did we skip over the finger chop?
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
I just said it gave me the heebie-jeebies, but
Sorry.
that's about it.
All right.
I mean, we need to talk
the
about it.
finger
Otherwise,
chop-
Travis won't be able to climax.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean-
The finger chop comes after. Yeah, it
Finger
comes
comes,
after,
what? Finger comes.
never mind.
No, keep going.
Nope.
I did notice that Hugh has a bit of a coke nail on that pinky.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
See, he's
He
going to
had-
trim it for him to be
Yeah.
a friend, and then he just gets too much.
What
Double
friends
that.
do. That's what friends do. Guys, how many times have I trimmed your nails? How
He's
many
gagging for it.
And the fact that he's wearing his robe and he flips him around backwards.
Yeah.
Well, the scene starts with Sean Ambrose comes in wearing this robe, and he says something or makes a look to Hugh, and Hugh doesn't respond, gives him the silent treatment, and then Sean walks away like, "Ugh, he's in a mood again." You know, that's what gives it that, like, these two are a couple,
Yeah.
but Sean also, you know, has this thing with Naya that
For all of
Hugh
you out
doesn't
there,
like.
For all of you out there, you've all got your lists. You all with your wives, you have your list of people that are on your list, and you can, this is what happens when you get to use your list. It breaks up relationships.
Yeah.
These
the
two
list
are
is,
having it perfectly, and they're like, "Well, Naya, I'm going to put her on my list." Okay, like you're.
Well, I mean, in his mind,
Yeah.
he's like, she's never coming back in the picture.
Right.
Then she does all of a sudden. He's like, fuck, I shouldn't have given him the green light on that.
Yeah, damn it! I gave him a hall pass for someone on his list, and now it's hurting our relationship. Who from this movie's on your list, Patrick?
Ooh. Right, Ving Rhames.
He has the meats.
Big man, he can hold me.
Yeah.
Clap those cheeks.
He's probably got a butt like who's that? Who's the fighter who I just had to see? Mike Tyson's ass.
His legs are shit, but those powerful arms can just hold you for days.
He can't do any knee stuff, but other than that, he's ready to roll.
You're gonna have to be on top, Patrick.
Yeah.
He can help me with the computer. I mean,
Yeah.
he's a full package.
Yeah, yeah.
He is. He's Windows ME. That's for all you nerds out there that know that 2000 was a bleak time.
We made it through
Uh,
Y2K. It was a
So
scary
this is
time.
when we first run into Brendan Gleeson
Yep. At the horse track with
the horse track.
I like that there's different elements going on here. You got Ambrose meeting with McCloy, and you have Ethan sneaking in and talking to Naya, and then there's some she's got to sneak in, get the memory card from the camera so they can see what McCloy was seeing. And I like all the moving elements here. I like the way it all plays out, and like she almost gets caught, because Ethan waits to the last second to leave, and it's just a good scene. I like how what I was saying earlier about how this has a 007 vibe. This has an edge to it though, because he gets to incorporate the team. And I mean, sometimes James Bond works with a team and has helpers, but this, I just like how it's not only Ethan,
There's
making
also
all
the
this
aspect
happen.
that in Bond movies, Bond's always like James Bond. He's always very still and posh and like emotionless.
Doesn't hide
whereas
who he is. Yeah.
Ethan gets very much like no, and he's like yelling into the camera and like gets really kind of like up in people's faces about
Right.
things. And obviously that's like they're working to differentiate for the two
Yeah.
because they're spy franchises. But I mean, it always makes for more interesting scenes when I think sometimes when he gets to kind of like lean into it.
Yeah.
And we get to learn left jacket.
Yes. Very well established where that memory card is supposed to go.
Whoops.
Yeah.
Yep.
She had one job.
Ah,
Yeah.
failed. Yeah.
And
what
she
kind of
doesn't
thief- what
understand.
kind of
She
thief?
doesn't understand stage directions.
Mm.
It's left jacket like a stage. It's left stage. It's stage left. It's not stage left as you look at it. Stage left for the actor. The actor is who moves up
Yes.
stage. So she puts it in the left one, her left.
Mm.
Idiot.
I did
And
enjoy the microchip or not microchip SD card movie.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
with
yeah.
the cellular breakdown and then flash cut to the gooiness.
It does a
that
good job of
ensues.
establishing exactly what the
Yeah.
threat is. Finally,
I
because
mean,
what is it?
53 minutes
Yeah,
in.
Yeah.
hour in, and we know what the threat is.
But that's
Yeah.
not the point of the movie. The point
No.
isn't the threat. The threat is again stock manipulation.
We'll get there. Yeah,
Money. We want money.
I like how we also get like Luther is kind of part of it because he's also viewing all this stuff in the van.
Yeah.
And we get his reaction to what this is. It's just a nice little added element. But,
And Billy's there.
oh, sure.
Billy does. Remember, Billy gets to slam. What's his face's hand?
Yes.
His
Yeah.
pinky in the door.
Cute.
That's
Yeah.
a he.
His bloody tip.
And poor Naya gets to walk around without a bra on.
It's like in space. She's in space.
Those are nubbins also.
Yeah.
Then it pretty much goes to biocide or whatever.
Yeah. Trying to think what.
We get the kidnapping from Gleason, who's a total non-obvious villain. But
Yeah. Yeah. There's a few things going on in this next bit where, you have McCloy leaving, gets in his limo, gets abducted, and then we think, you're kind of meant to think that it's the bad guys who have taken him because we have Ethan at Ambrose's compound, who is, like he runs into Naya, who's trying to escape, and so I like it's not a huge surprise that it's really Ambrose pretending to be Ethan so that he can find out is she really with me or but I like how all that plays out, and you get the real Ethan pretending to be Nikorovich interrogating McCloy. So I like the way that scene plays out because you get a lot of the exposition you need.
Yeah.
From McCloy to Nikorovich. Yeah,
It's like an hour in, they're finally telling you why you're watching this movie.
Also, this is the first movie. I'm going to go back to the tech stuff. This is the first movie where they stopped trying to make a character who also looks like, oh, this is a senator. He just happens to look like Tom Cruise in makeup.
Sure. Yeah.
This is like, we're just going to have really good masks. And this is where we learn about the little strip on the
chip,
larynx.
Yeah.
The little larynx tape that gives you the voice. So
Apparently it also gets rid of your accent.
Sure.
It does.
Yeah.
So, because what it does is, this is for future movies. They future-proofed every movie just by being like, we can mimic
We'll just
anybody.
tech the tech. Yeah. This is Star Trek,
Yeah. Now it's a phaser. This is the phaser of the movie. You don't question. You're like, why is the phaser working this way? You're like, that's fine.
I liked all the mask stuff in this movie. There's a few like frames where it gets a little like goopy and
sure, but this is
CGI
the beginning of,
looking.
Yes,
I like the way that it really.
Yeah.
No,
And this is where we get to see Brendan Gleeson's nipples.
Sure.
We're also a part. If I remember, when you're doing this week by week, when you're doing this minute by minute, I think there were 3 minutes of his nipples, and we were just very excited. You've got to pick what you can pick, Patrick. Look, it's a minute by minute. When you're going through it like this is easy. I can do this podcast, no problem.
A treasure in the mounds of hair that are upon his chest there.
Grapefruit pink jewels.
You lucky bastard getting to talk about that for 3 solid minutes.
And he's already in a big plastic room. I mean, this is perfect for Travis.
How am I the deviant here?
I think you established that from the jump, my dude.
Yeah.
You're the one ripping ropes around here. We got to keep you contained.
Not to Brendan Gleeson's nipples.
I mean, not anymore. I think
you're the Brendan Gleeson of this.
Oh.
You're the sweaty man in there.
I like to think that he made the call on, let's just show one nip. Let's just have that blanket down a little bit.
I'm more of a tease.
I'd like to be a sensual actor.
Yeah.
So
it's more artistic this way.
It's earned nudity.
Yeah.
I do like. I mean, we get the reveal when he takes off the mask of the doctor, and it's a pretty good thing. But it's like we didn't need to do it. Like we didn't need it. We all know that that's
Yeah,
not the
Yeah.
doctor.
sure. Because
But
we
then
have the reveal
next
with
scene-
Sean. Yeah.
Yeah, that one's awesome. That's
Yeah.
a great reveal because you're like, wait, he's with. Oh shit!
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was a really good, just complete red herring in the movie. I remember really enjoying this part, and also they
Yeah.
figured he nailed it because he nailed Tom Cruise's affinity for cable knit sweaters.
Sure. How good he
Love
looks in
those.
those toboggans and the high neck.
Like the mock turtleneck.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it's
His-
mock. That's a
his
full. That's
Tactical sort of
Well, it was a full, and then he cut the tip off with a cigar cutter, and now it's a shortened turtleneck.
I did like. I noticed it this time watching that he, for some reason, says his first, middle initial, and last name while he's confessing to be used later on to get into the vaults or whatever.
That's a bit heavy-handed. Yeah, yeah.
So that was convenient.
I, John C. McCloy,
Yeah.
am in the business to make money.
make money.
So I totally zoned that out the first time I watched.
Yeah.
it, I
My
guess,
voice
but-
is my passport.
Yeah.
Verify me. Yeah, it was a little. It's
I was
a little
like,
on the
oh,
nose.
okay, yeah,
We just need him to say C. We need him to say the letter C.
Just see.
yeah. And I'm sure the mask talk has been killed already, but
Nah, keep going.
I think, well, it probably comes up more so as egregious in the last mask scene. But I didn't realize that
Oh,
because I always thought they'd have to take time to do this because masks are hard to put on and to that level. Good God! But in this movie, it seems like you could just keep one in a bag, throw it on.
Yep.
like a
yeah. They
hoodie
seem pretty
almost.
reusable. Yeah.
In this
Yeah.
movie, they are reusable, whereas later on we'll get to a point where we basically see the mask being made on like a big grinder lathe
Yeah.
type of thing where it kind of grinds out.
It's like a
through.
3D printer almost, where
Yeah.
it's like
Way
it
before
manifests.
3D printing.
Yeah.
And
I
this
could-
was like that was the one where we don't have masks because our mask machine is broken and we're disavowed, so we have to
Right.
go without masks. What?
Yeah.
yeah, and I think the movie Face Off screwed me up too.
Okay.
Because that they take a lot of detail with
Those weren't
that's their
masks.
actual face, but
Yeah, those are
Those
Take
were
his
masks.
face
Those are faces
off.
Off.
But I do appreciate the scenes where it's Tom Cruise is playing Sean Ambrose
like
playing
evil. It's
Ethan,
fun.
well, he does that look down but then look up thing to
Uh-huh.
make himself look evil. Like,
Yes.
he does that constantly.
Mm.
And it is funny. And I do love when he's like rubbing his temples
Uh-huh.
and he's just so angry and then rips the mask
Yeah,
off.
yeah.
Mm.
He's like angry.
Mhm.
It's like super obvious, but it still I still enjoy it.
Yeah, yeah. Then they set up the build up to what we think is probably going to be the big action spectacle of this movie, based on the first
dangle.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's going to have a big high drop. I like that Sean Ambrose knows. Okay, it's Ethan. He's going to do some ridiculous stunt. And he's not wrong, but I like how they establish that this is what he'll do, this is what we'll do. The question I had this time around was if Ambrose knows that Ethan is going to try to infiltrate this place, why doesn't he warn Biosite? But then I figured out, because he also needs to obtain what Ethan acquires. So,
Yeah.
So
Why can't he obtain it with the help of the CEO?
right. Right.
Why
Well,
can't it just be there's a dead zone? I'm going to literally put in an hour where everyone will fucking be somewhere else. And you can go into that lab, not an hour, 15 minutes. I was expecting more collusion, but it seems like they're doing a double heist at the same time, which is fine for the later part of the scene. Cause the double heist when they're fighting in the lab, that's a great great scene. But it is a little clunky. There's also you're like, if you know he's going to do it, why didn't you do it the day before?
Right. There's definitely that.
Yeah. Because
they know he's there because they try and blow up the van, Luther's van.
Yeah. But like they can't get into collusion because they don't have the virus, right?
Yeah, I think at this point, Ambrose is telling McCloy that we have the virus.
Okay.
When they don't, because
okay, gotcha.
they thought they got the virus in the plane crash because they thought it was in the briefcase, but it was really inside
the doctor.
Portage.
Yeah.
So
Which
the
is
CEO
now
thinks
splattered
they
up
have
against
it.
Mount Paramount.
Okay, so the CEO thinks that he has the
Mhm.
virus. Okay, that's the part that threw me off. Okay. So it's like they only have half the thing there.
And the movie
Okay.
doesn't. The movie does not do a good job of establishing what everyone knows and what everyone is kind of what part
Okay.
everyone.
No, that
like.
makes sense because all they know is that the virus is missing from that canister that he shot
Yes.
in his
Yeah.
arm. Okay.
It's not where it should be, so it must
Yeah.
be where he says
Yeah.
it
Okay.
is.
Gotcha.
I don't. I like the action scene enough of Ethan getting into the building. I don't like the action scene, the gunfight with once Ambrose's men show up. It's
You don't
too,
like the gunfight?
I don't. The
Oh.
stylization of the filming is real weird. I think they're trying to be very matrixy.
It's John Woo.
Yeah, that's what
in
he's.
this what I discovered in this movie, I like the more hand-to-hand action scenes than the
Yeah, you do.
than the gunfight scenes. I for some reason the gunplay in this movie doesn't I'm skipping past the
Travis is trying to be the better man here.
Yeah.
He is.
Now I don't have a lot of John Woo history. I know Jonathan you do. Is he more known for
Gun fu?
gun fu or hand-to-hand combat?
He's always done like the gritty crime martial
Yeah, it's not.
arts.
It's not always hand-to-hand combat. It's just he just stylizes shit that you're like, I guess this is a fight scene.
Okay.
Like you know when a fight scene begins because it slows down
And there's
Yeah.
doves.
Yeah.
and it's
Yep.
shot from 5 angles, and you're like, oh, okay.
There's multiple cuts for one move.
Yeah.
Yeah, because whereas
Yeah.
some of this, because I think John Woo has this problem that happens a lot of times. Some of the stuff he loses I feel like it's lost in translation from the way his sensibility as a director. Like this scene with Tom Cruise in a helicopter about to jump in there, it's fake. That's the scene you should be investing your time in making real. That's what
Yeah.
Tom Cruise, in his genius, all hail Tom Cruise, figured out probably in this movie. He's
Yeah.
like, this feels like bullshit. He goes, everyone really responded to me climbing that mountain, and
Yeah.
no one responded to me being in this fake helicopter because it's fake. So
Yeah.
so you turn your brain off and you're like, oh, this actor is going to act like he's jumping out of a helicopter.
Sure.
I want him to jump out of a helicopter
Right.
into a building.
Yeah. He's not there yet, but yeah, by the next couple movies, he's
Right. So I think
this would have been a real stunt.
because why else is Billy here? We don't know. I think this
Yeah.
is why we hired Billy.
For hell
Well,
of
was-
good times.
Was he going to get out the same way? Is that why Billy was there so that he could?
Yeah, at some point he's got to get. I don't know how he's supposed to get out because there's
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
talk of that. And he only gets out because he has all the cables on him and he does the cable move and jumps out a window. But that
Yeah.
can't be the way
Yeah.
he planned on going.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the big suspense is can he get the baggie back into the helicopter
Yeah.
thing?
Oh yeah.
Just Luther just talking into a microphone, staring at a screen. I mean, that's all we need
Yeah.
for suspense.
I do like that they establish, hey, for 8 minutes we're going to be out of contact, and then once the shit hits the fan and they establish contact again, Luther's
Yeah.
like, Ethan, Naya's in the building, and Ethan's just like, thanks. But yeah, no, I love the standoff. Once the gun sort of play happens and everything calms down, Sean brings Naya out, because he's been they said something about the 37 million pounds is kind of the key word for Sean to be like, oh yeah, how would you know that number? By the way, here's Naya. I love that's what once Naya is in the room with them, the energy changes and it becomes a standoff.
Yeah.
And she has to go get the vial to bring back to Ambrose, and
she goes from being I do like this part.
Yes.
Yeah.
She goes from being in distress. She's like, this is the way you saved me.
Right.
And she injects herself.
yeah, I love the agency there.
And
She-
he hits his watch and they're all like in sync. I'm like, fuck yeah.
yeah, no, she is brilliant in that moment.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Because if you think about it, she's really not been in a lot of this movie.
yeah,
Most of her scenes are just Ambrose talking to her in a weird, creepy way,
yeah,
Yeah.
which sucks because I
Yeah.
kind of wanted her to be doing more cat burglary stuff this whole
Sure.
movie. That's probably my biggest thing about this movie.
okay,
You say she's a cat burglar. You show me she's a cat burglar. She doesn't burgle at
Yeah.
all. in
She
this
burgles
movie.
in the very beginning, but she's
And then she
know,
messed up the one burglary thing she was supposed to do: left jacket pocket.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
I had a question on this plan here.
Oh, go for it.
So why would he not get rid of the most easily movable version of the virus with the gun, trank gun thing? And instead, he focuses on the one that you'd have to process and get out of the petri dish.
Oh,
Like you'd think he'd go for the more easily
Well, he has to
easier
kill.
removed.
He has to kill all of the chimera. He has to kill
Yeah.
it all. So it's not just there happens to already be one in the holster.
there's
One
three
in the
guns.
chamber.
Yeah, with the
Yeah.
There's three guns, and he kills two of them with laser.
Yeah,
yeah.
I
think
just
That's
go,
science.
Yeah, I'd go for the ones you could easily move out of there, as
Yeah.
opposed to the petri dishes where you'd have to it'd be harder to move that.
Well, he wasn't going to move them. He was always going to destroy them all. I
Yeah.
think he was going to destroy the gun too, but
Yeah.
just didn't get the chance because he got shot at.
Yeah.
Also, what's up with
Yeah.
Sydney airspace where a helicopter can just hover over downtown
Yeah.
for an interminable amount of time and not have him go like, "What? What's up, mate?"
What's that whirly bird doing? Um,
Sometimes the weird things.
yeah.
Yeah.
The thing that I have a hard time with is because he's got to destroy these 3 vials in these guns, and he goes about it so slowly. If they
Oh,
would
yeah.
have established like that it does take physical time to
But he doesn't know he's there either. He doesn't
know he's there, but it's still
One's
like,
there.
why wouldn't you just, take the gun, shoot it into the whatever kills the virus, do that 3 times very rapidly. But because it's a movie, we see, oh, I'm going to take my time. I'm going to think about Nikorovich. I'm going to think about this and that. And for no reason, Ethan just slows down and does this slowly and methodically. And it's like, maybe just make it like you physically can't do it quickly. You have to do it through a series of processes that does take time. But that's one of the things that like I struggle with. Just
My
I
struggle
wish-
with the fact that this
Yeah.
super rare, super whatever virus is sitting on petri dishes underneath 3 lasers that can destroy it.
hey, you got it. Yeah, it's there's
just-
checks
oh.
and balances for these things.
I wish when he walked up to the petri dishes, he gets real sad, starts thinking about the doctor, and then he like kisses his own hand and then like touches the petri dishes, and you hear like arms in the arms of the
Mhm.
angel. And he's just so sad that his Russian friend, who didn't
Yeah.
know his real name
Sure.
anyway, how good of friends? Hey, this is like a work friend, okay? It's like when my wife's like, "Well, I should hang out more with the people I work with." I'm like,
'Cause
"Are
I
you
work with
gonna?"
them.
No, you're not gonna.
Yeah. Couldn't you have just brought like a bottle of Robitussin and just dumped it on those petri dishes?
Yeah, throw a antibiotic in there. Just
Just
wipe
so
it
you
out.
know,
do something.
the chimera is very susceptible to Robitussin.
Robitussin.
Yeah, in the room
Power
where
of-
he's wearing a full body hazmat suit. Yeah, I'll just
Yeah.
kiss it and
Put
touch
some
it.
tussin on it. Just put some
Yeah.
tussin on it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
Problem solved.
Right.
You can't use that cheap shit like
See?
Waltussin. You have to use
Yeah.
Robitussin.
Yeah.
Real
Yeah.
Same
Robitussin.
brand.
See? Hey, I'm just an idea guy. I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
Just get some goo that's like the gel that we all use on our hands now.
Yeah.
Keep
Yeah,
our
Hand
hands clean.
sanitizer.
A little
It's just that-
Bactine. I don't know.
Oh, Bactine. Wow. I haven't thought about that in a long time.
Stuff stings.
You must have been a kid getting into thistles and varmints back then. You're using Bactine on yourself. This is for you older listeners.
Yeah. Oh, I did notice, Patrick. This is the scene where he's walking up to the 3, vials
yeah.
in the guns is
Yeah.
is the most hockey hair.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's majestic.
It's kind of it's pushed, it's slicked back. You
Yeah.
know, he looks like
It's
a real
got
piece
the-
of shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You
You're
know.
eating sloppy steaks.
Yeah.
Tucked behind the ears look. Yeah.
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 Okay.
I do like the gun though, like the whole camera flash.
Yeah.
Again,
I feel like
why
he's
would
shooting
you
the virus into this into this canister that must like flash fry it or something.
Yeah, again,
Something.
why
I don't
is the
know.
virus in the container with the thing that destroys it?
You have to have checks and balances, my
That's
guy.
George, you
So-
can't just have a virus around. It's just
You
like
know what?
you're not allowed to go to certain places, George, now because
Yeah.
of what's inside of your body. You just have to keep.
I thought it was the blue dot, but whatever.
I love that she injects herself, and Dougray Scott is like, "What the fuck did she just do? God damn it!"
Women, women,
mad.
am I right?
He's spitting mad. He spits when he calls her a biatch.
Yeah.
So luckily, he's got his watch on, his chronograph, his Casio,
Yeah.
and he turns it on to 20 minutes. Shit. You fucked. 20 hours.
It'll take him
Sorry.
20 minutes to run and jump out of that wall, the hole in the wall he just blew.
Oh yeah,
Oh my
you
God.
didn't notice it, but yeah, he set up his charges, so he blows up the rest of the lab. So this lab's gone. There's no more Chimera. There's no more Bellerophon, except now only in Naya.
Yeah.
So now Naya is the prize.
Oh yeah.
Music's great. This is
Yes.
some good ass
It's
music.
Hans Zimmer with Lisa Gerrard, who he worked with in Gladiator.
Gladiator.
Yeah.
A lot of gladiator themes.
I
Yes.
love the music in this movie. I mean the score
Other than the theme
type
song.
music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. No, this has a good score.
Put a sock in it.
Yep. So he does this. Doesn't he do the cool flip out the window? Isn't this
Yeah, he
the-
does that like jump out of the window and
It's a window now.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
hole in the wall.
all holes can be windows.
Yeah. And all windows are holes.
Yeah. And yeah, he does do a weird midair flip and then, pulls the cord on his parachute.
Almost like you got to get up to speed before you can pull the
Yeah.
parachute.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised they had a wall facing outside right in that lab, though.
Well,
Like,
yeah,
it would
you
have been
think-
like
you think
encased,
it-
like in
yeah.
the middle. Like,
I mean, you've seen their storage protocols for the virus. I mean, I don't think anything makes sense.
yeah,
It's on the 42nd floor. That's okay.
yeah.
No one's going to be able to get up there unless you go through the giant vent that's open for 2 minutes every 2 days, whatever the fuck it is.
I like after this, we get a good recap. It checks in with Ambrose has Naya, and they kind of establish, here's what's at stake. And then we check in with, the IMF team, and we talk about, we got less than 20 hours now, and checking with them and see what they're planning to do.
IMF team
And-
put in the quotes.
Yeah. And then it like cuts to, oh yeah, there's this little island where there's a storage facility.
Mhm.
And once we cut to that, it's pretty much like the rest
Storage
of the movie
facility for
is
doves.
going to be an action scene.
Yeah.
For the doves with.
This is where we keep our doves. I don't know why we're Scottish now, but that's
But we
how,
all are its finest doves.
I just liked Tom Cruise's black outfit in the middle of the day.
Sure.
As he's
It makes
He
him more
looks-
stealthy.
He's dressed like a longshoreman for no apparent
Yeah.
reason.
He's dressed like the Gorton's fisherman.
He looks like he's on Deadliest Catch.
He still looks like a giant penis.
Well, it's because the round
Yeah.
top on his turtleneck.
yeah.
It's great though.
Well, we're also coming up on the epic 6-cut flip kick
Oh yeah.
for the absolute nobody guard.
Yeah.
This is like the editing on this scene is worthy of final boss fight.
editing
and-
and also the dirt they put on both his feet and on the bad guy so that when he hits him, the
Oh.
dust flies off, and it's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely unnecessary levels of attention paid to this one scene.
this is. I wish this movie's kind of before memes and gifs. I need
Oh,
something.
yeah.
I need something now where it's like you show this scene and it's like my anxiety and that's over Tom Cruise, and then the guard is like me thinking I got my shit together, and my anxiety comes out of nowhere and just
Yeah.
drop kicks me in the face.
I love the way that scene is shot because we see the guard walking around and the camera rises over the
Oh, yeah.
plane of whatever, like this whole
Tom view.
Yeah. And it rises and Tom is already running and about to kick the guy. It's so much better than, I don't know how to describe it, but I love how fast paced it feels.
Well, it's
I just
overproduced
I
is the
just
problem.
I just
Yeah.
noticed he's got green pants. So
Yeah,
basically,
yeah,
he's
yeah.
just like
Yeah.
Kim Possible.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like Kim Possible.
Nice.
Well, they stole
'Cause-
that
well,
from him.
Top shelf Kim
Yeah.
Possible cosplay.
And then we go into the greatest scene. Patrick, just so you know, everyone wants this suit that Dougray Scott is wearing. It is
That-
a full denim
Uh,
suit.
I would wear that.
It is denim top, denim bottom,
Would you
It is
wear
a-
it to the beach?
denim tie.
It was a tone on tone full denim suit. So his shirt, even his tie is probably denim. It's amazing.
Oh
It
yeah.
must
I-
make
I did
so
not
much
even realize
noise
that.
in
Yeah.
ADR.
Oh yes.
It was just
Wait.
dark, so I didn't even. Yeah.
When you watch it
Yeah.
when you watch it 1 minute at a time, yeah, you notice that shit. You're like, what the fuck is his shirt jacket made out of?
So this comes to my other favorite scene of John Woo slow motion, flames, Tom Cruise smoldering
Yes.
at him.
Hell yeah.
Come hither.
What's that?
Yeah.
Um,
Travis's nickname is Hither. Yeah.
Now come, sir.
uh,
Well, that's how DeGray Scott says Heather.
yeah.
Oh,
That's
Heather.
true.
Heather, please.
It's cool, Heather. Oh, Heather.
Yeah,
She
this is
never
like
listened.
I like how you have a couple of different things going on here. The infiltration by Ethan mixed with the transfer of the Chimera and Bellerophon that becomes the hostile takeover,
Yeah.
and then it moves into the attack sort of phase.
So what is with the red light, green light aspect of this whole thing? Like, why are they mixing them?
Just to prove that the Chimera the blood, the red blood
so that's
has
blood.
Chimera in it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And that the green is Bellerophon, because if they
So
could have
It's
just given
so
him,
weird that they would
could have just
bring
given
this-
him Robitussin and Dayquil,
So
and-
that's basically like neutralizing the Chimera so no one dies. Okay.
well, just for that sample, they're just proving
It's more of a
that,
proof.
that
Yeah.
what they
Yeah.
have is
The
legit.
scientist nerd is showing. He's showing. Look, okay, this blood has.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
It's got
has
DNA
Chimera in it.
sequences and fun little connect the dots. You know, it's
Mhm.
science.
because I guess as far as McCloy's people know, their building was just raided, and they probably don't know it was by Ambrose, and so they want to get Chimera and Bellerophon, and right now Ambrose is the only source. So
Yeah.
They're basically trying to get back what they already have, and that's where the
Yeah.
stonk trades come in, because that's when he.
Stonks.
stonks and
Stonks.
balances.
Yeah,
No,
he
Jonathan,
wants.
there's a master class on stocks if you want to take that and learn more.
Oh,
about
thanks, man. I am looking for a financial advisor. Thank you.
it. Yeah, I got you.
Can we talk about the leg move that
Mm.
Tom Cruise does when he comes off the ceiling and he somehow does a little twisty twist on the guy's head?
Yeah.
That's
That
like this
wouldn't work.
in the movie. It's like the second neck snap that is silent.
Yeah.
Nikorovich's neck gets snapped on the plane, and this guy's neck gets snapped here, and it's weirdly silent.
Yeah.
Was it a neck snap? Like, is he dead? Did he kill him?
Oh, I'm sure.
I think
I
so.
thought so. I thought so.
Based on the movement, I
Yeah.
assume
We
this was
imply
a neck
death.
snap. Yeah,
Yeah.
Tom
But it's
Cruise
weirdly
only kills
silent.
characters who don't have lines.
yeah.
Gotcha. If you're a day player, he will.
If you're a
murder
day
you,
player,
yeah.
if you're just an extra, you're dead. But
I
if you
did
have- you
notice
have
in this
dialogue-
movie there's a lot
Yeah.
more Ethan shooting things around people that will blow. There's less
Yeah.
him just straight up
Oh,
shooting
okay.
people.
So he's
and more,
Batmaning it. He's Batmaning it. I didn't
Kinda,
kill him.
yeah.
I didn't kill him, but I left him on that ledge. So if he
Right.
falls, he
Yeah.
technically dies.
But then there's moments like that where he'll just snap the dude's neck. But so I don't know if Tom Cruise was like, I don't want to kill a lot of people. I want to cause damage and people may die in the result, but I don't want to straight up, kill
He
a lot of
doesn't
people
sh- he
in
does-
this
I'm-
movie.
now that I'm thinking about it, does he shoot people other than with like trank guns? Really, in any
In
of
the
movies?
in the bike chase, there's definitely a couple people.
Well, yeah.
He shoots the gunners that are like
He
hanging
shoots
out
a
of the
lot of people
hanging out
in
of the windows
in the
of the
lab.
car. Yeah.
in the lab he does that
Oh, yeah, he
slide
did shoot a
shot
lot of
where
people.
he shoots a lot of people. Like
Yeah.
he goes like, he's like hits like 5 people.
But are they dead?
Probably
Hmm.
because he doesn't miss.
But I think it seems less than a lot of typical action movies where you would just have people straight up shooting people, people in the face or chest or whatever. I wondered if Tom Cruise maybe had an aversion to being shown as someone who kills a lot of people.
Well, then he also blows guys up with a pipe bomb
That's
Yeah.
different.
Yeah,
that he shoots.
he's creating chaos.
Oh, he's got to come through the flames to the flamey door.
Hell
And then-
yeah.
yeah.
And this is our first shot at 1 hour and 29 minutes. Our first shot of the doves.
There's
the
a dove.
the true stars of this movie.
Yep.
And he's pulling he's John Wicking his way through this building. Takes
Yep.
all of them out one by one.
Mm-hmm.
It's what's weird is that he keeps taking their pants off, but he's not putting their pants on. He's just taking
No.
their pants off. It's so weird that he's collecting them, taking their
Pants
pants off.
collector.
So
He's got a
weird.
big bat. I like the one guy who pays. Oh, we should put the fire out because that's not safe. So
Yeah.
it's got the fire extinguisher.
Well, they are dealing with like compressed chemicals and viruses being in, I guess, in
Well, they don't
storage
know
here.
this. I don't think that is that what this building is. No, this
They
building's
say
not-
at some point it's a storage facility for biosite. So
Oh.
I assume they're storing
Viruses.
viruses, chemicals,
Okay,
other biological agents. I don't know.
probably
There is-
lots of bodily fluids.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah, oh
my
yeah.
God.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep.
I forgot to mention it. At some point, they established that Naya has been dropped off in a
Yeah,
very public space.
we forgot about Naya.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just bye.
So
Um,
this movie forgets about Naya
but I
right
like
here.
once well, first we get the switch, all of Hugh and his henchmen go after Ethan,
Right.
and God, I
This is
love this setup here. I love the switch and the reveal
he
so
comes
much.
in, so we see him coming like he's going off to go kill Ethan. Ethan walks by with the doves, like
Yeah.
we get the move. We get through all the stock talk, fucking stock talk. It takes a long time. I didn't notice it. It
Yeah.
was like 5 minutes of this movie is stonks. So they go out and Hugh gets completely fucked by Ethan, and
Yeah, he gets
But-
grenaded.
But we think
it's the other way around.
yeah, and it's a good setup because they do then they must have changed clothes. Ethan did swap their clothes,
Remember, he's been taking pants off, guys, all
right?
day.
Yeah. And yeah, I love the setup that he drags in Ethan. He's silent. He's just muttering or groaning
He's
and
like,
stuff, but he won't say anything. And he shoots his leg, and he's like, "Stop mumbling." I think I broke his jaw.
I like to think that when he did switch the clothes, that they were really big on him because Tom Cruise is notoriously short.
Sure.
And then
Dude,
he has
those
to,
pants are real tight.
he's
tight
out there
pants,
with his
you.
little tailoring kit
Uh-huh.
to try to hem the pants up. And
Ethan,
No,
you
Tom
seem
Cruise
to
is a
have
totally
grown.
normal sized man. He's
Yep.
the same size as everybody.
yeah.
Why is he wearing platform shoes?
Oh man.
Soles like this big.
But you think at this point people would, if I was either Ethan or anyone that's related to the IMF, I'd be checking faces.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there has
Always.
to be like a tell, like a
multiple
scanner.
times.
Well, you got to find the flap. There's probably
Right.
like
Yeah.
a flap.
The
that
pull
you have
tab,
to find.
yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a pull tab. It's
I'm
like on
just saying.
a bottle of yogurt. The
Yeah.
top of the yogurt.
Yeah.
There's always that little. So yeah, he sees the finger. He now knows he's wrong. He shot him. He killed his
Yeah.
lover so bad. He kills him so
And he
bad.
tried to talk with his eyes, but he wasn't
Yes.
listening.
Yeah.
And this music's playing. The words we famously talked about on the podcast. We don't know what it's saying. It
See,
sounds
if
like
Duke Ray
sounds like
Scott paid
a-
attention, he would notice the fact that Tom Cruise's eyes aren't blue when he's on the
yes.
floor.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Those beautiful blue eyes.
So they run. He's running to this music, and he's running out of the thing. Oh, it's so good. He's stolen
Yeah.
Bellerophon, and he's got
I
both
love that
drugs
shot of Richard Roxburgh running and putting up the
and pulling the mask.
vials in his jacket, and then the reveal. It's
Oh, it's so good.
so good. Yeah.
What's really weird is as they do it, you know how they're going between him and him.
Mhm.
When he's running, he starts to shrink.
Oh,
By the time he gets to being Tom Cruise, he's much. Thank God Billy's there with a helicopter. I guess.
Uh-huh.
Again,
Just in time.
yeah, but they're like reaching for each other, and it's like their fingertips are almost touching. It.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
like Lady
lost the
Hawk.
ability to jump after that kickflip.
Uh-huh.
So
You're right though, because Ethan could easily have shot that guard. Instead, he shoots the hazardous waste
Yeah.
behind
Right.
him,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is a bad idea, by the way.
Sure. Yeah, because now you've got whatever that chemical, whatever that virus is.
He puts on his cool Travis Bow sunglasses.
Yes. No, though these are just whatever, probably Ray-Bans or something. These aren't
Oh, those aren't-
Oakleys.
These
No,
are
these
Oakleys?
are no. I mean, they might be Oakley. I forget what that standard pair of Oakleys was called, but I don't think they are.
I think they were called the douchebag plus.
Could
Yeah.
be. But yeah, we never see the Romeos again. They were only in that opening scene. We do
Oakley
see.
didn't have the money for more.
No. Spoilers for our X-Men episode. The sunglasses that Scott Summers wears in that are the Juliets. So they're a lot like these,
Oh.
the Romeos, but they're slimmer. Yeah. So, and I had
Yeah,
those as well.
Those cans of hazardous waste are really exploding just for being like, cum.
Contents under. Yeah. It's when you
that's-
pressurize it like that.
That's
oh
cup.
man,
Cup.
it's
Contents under pressure. Under pressure.
combustive, my
Cup.
friend.
Cum busted.
This is unfortunately the year of tiny sunglasses. So as they go out, Sean Ambrose also puts on a pair of tiny sunglasses.
Yeah, oh yes.
Well, they're already dressed like the Matrix, so And then there's a chase through the basically the highlands of
This small
Australia.
Australian island.
Yeah. They've got a Ving Rhames finally shows up with some sort of grenade launcher.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's a car on fire because we gotta have a car on fire because Patrick, he has to drive through flames as part of his contract.
Oh yeah.
This is also the movie that sort of like didn't reinvent or revitalize, but brought Ducati to like the public eye, like the more like maybe I'm just speaking for me because I'm like, oh, that's the first time I remember the name Ducati as like a motorcycle.
Sure.
Be like, oh, that's pretty freaking cool. Ducatis are cool.
Yeah, I can't remember a movie where especially in this movie, it'd have been like James Bond where they kind of promote it alongside it.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
Like the watches, this is like, oh, this is if you go to BK, you can get your Tom Cruise Ducati toy or
Mission Impossible 2 package.
yeah.
But then
Oh,
the
he's mad,
cars
yeah.
that the bad guys are driving are the worst. They're just
it's just
Ford
shit boxes.
Mondeos. They're so weak,
We get our Wilhelm.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
When that first car blows up, we get a Wilhelm.
Yeah.
And I love that everybody else is driving Ducatis and one guy's driving a truck and then everyone else is driving like a Avis rental car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
When
real.
you don't have a reservation, it's whatever's left. It is bad. I think that's on purpose so that they can be like, if we do this, then we don't have to look at those cars. Like we don't have to make like you have to think about it as, who's the guy in the cool car? You can just be like, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
This is
It's also just like a money, like, if we're gonna blow up cars, we're gonna blow up the shittiest ones we can blow up.
Yeah.
Also, Patrick, if you're gonna blow one up, you've got to spin your motorcycle with your gun out. Can you do that, Patrick? Only true heads can do that.
This totally made me think of that movie Wanted, where they do a lot of that.
They bend.
And
Yeah,
Sure.
the bullet spinning.
yeah.
I think that's
Curve
what
that
I was
bullet.
kind of talking about earlier, where I prefer the action scenes that are fights than the gun fu stuff in this movie. A lot of it in this.
Well, this isn't gun fu at this point, other than that one weird move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
It's
is
kind of
Ducati
boring.
foo in a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think John Wick has kind of raised the bar after watching this. I'm like, okay, I can see this, got us going. But
Tom Cruise sat in his tiny little chair and he watched John Wick, was just like, fuck, guys, come on, we could have done this.
Like, that's what we were trying to do with MI2.
We could have done this.
Yeah.
But now we can't. So
We've got pencils.
he has always been like the close fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the first movie they do the knife,
Mhm.
they got the knife fight. So they are doing that kind of stuff. Naya is just walking around in the fucking desert.
Hell yeah.
Because I love that. Again, this is her she's smart.
Yeah.
She's
yeah.
not our damsel in distress. She's like, if I'm going to explode in Bellerophon or Chimera,
Yeah.
I'm going to explode out here.
Away from as many. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remove myself from civilization.
Basically, she should have walked to a concrete place where they have cement and trucks and just be like, pour it on me. Just cover me in cement.
Yeah. And what
Okay.
now?
Because
Cement.
Travis is like, you had my attention. Now you've got my curiosity.
You lost me at that final
Other way
T at
around.
the end of the word.
Why is
Yeah,
there a
it's
T at the end?
cement.
Cement is more tangy. It has like a piquant.
It's lychee.
It's an
Oh,
after dinner
God, yeah.
cement.
Mm.
He does the motorcycle. He can't believe he does the same gag twice. He does the turning the motorcycle,
The spinning on one tire.
Yeah.
one tire and shoots them. And then now Dougray Scott now has his own motorcycle.
Oh yeah,
Redford-
he left the facility in the red one.
So he has his own. Now they're just having it's a old horse fight joust.
Sure.
I assume Tom's wearing those Heelys on that pair of shoes.
Patrick,
Right.
he's wearing 6-inch pumps. Don't
There's a lot
worry.
of distance between his heels and the asphalt that he's
fine.
riding on top of. Yeah. I
Yeah,
love the
this is-
move where Ethan he spots the semi coming down the road.
Yeah.
And he leans forward, puts all the weight on the front so that his back tire can create that smoke screen, and then takes out his cousin and a couple of the other henchmen, lets them get hit by the truck. That's a cool
I
move.
do like the most metal move of this entire fight is when he fires backwards while looking in his
Yes.
rearview mirror.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool metal move.
Which has got to be hard to do because objects appear closer in those. So that's a skill.
Super
Also,
spy.
he's
Yeah.
riding the motorcycle on the other side of the street, which is like, that's hard.
Yeah.
Because Australia.
Well, and in Australia, everything goes backwards. So he has to.
Right.
Yeah. There's a lot of moving pieces here.
On his, where the gas normally is on an Australian bicycle, it's reversed. They have all the controls.
And also, all Ducatis are bulletproof in the front. That's that was
The front and
I
the
didn't know if
side.
you knew that. That was
Yeah.
what made them so popular.
Even the headlights. Yeah.
And I remember when they did the ads, and the ads used to be like, "Why the fuck are we doing this?" And somebody's like, "Shut up! This is the reason we're doing
Shut
it."
up! It's cool.
Remember all those Ducati commercials we all saw?
Oh
in the
yeah,
early
yeah.
2000s?
Every time you turn on TV, Ducati. Yeah.
I don't know if it's just me, but it seems like this part of Australia looks like Florida.
Yeah, it does.
Looks a lot like Florida.
Well, it's the same criminal element, so I
yeah,
assume
it's like with the criminal background. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
you got your
I
normal.
think every country has that part of it that just feels and looks like Florida.
It's usually near a bog or water or some
Yeah.
sort of
Gators,
body
a
of
lot of
water, yeah.
gators.
So
Maybe
this
unless
is
you're
our
like-
big climactic
Yeah.
scene. This is
Yeah.
the big
The beach joust, and
when they wrote this up, it was like Mad Libs. They're like, Ethan, they're like Ethan and Sean are on a blank. They are writing a blank.
They fight
blank,
spinnily.
while in the air they blank.
hug.
Like I just thought it was hilarious. They both had the same idea.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
air hug. Like
It's one of those things that
I would have like dove off the side of it and let it.
Yeah.
Like who dives just straight forward?
Well,
like that?
we went through this
Is-
in our show. We talked about the physics of this
Sure,
impossibility.
too,
You
yeah.
cannot,
Yeah.
you cannot do this.
Well,
Yeah,
it is
yeah.
Mission Impossible, not Mission
And also, if
Difficult.
you
so-
hit
That's true.
another dude at 80 to 100 miles
Oh,
an hour, and
yeah.
he's also going 100 miles an hour, you've got
You'll
about
both die.
I don't think you're reaching those speeds on beach.
You're
I think
both
those
going to
beach
turn
you-
like
blanks
tomato
If two
paste.
dudes
Yeah.
hit each other at that speed, they will splat harder than Travis.
Yeah.
would they just fuse into one being?
Yes.
Ugh.
It'll
Which
look
is
like a
what they-
transporter incident.
Yeah.
It's like Dragon Ball Fusion. Yep.
The scene
That's-
from The Fly.
Oh,
Or
could have done with that. Not hearing that. Yeah.
Brundlefly.
Dugreka Scott is getting the best of Ethan on the beach.
Yeah.
He's kicking him in the chest, kicking him in the
Yeah.
face.
This is Justin Bieber hair, Tom Cruise.
This is where his hair looks the most. Yeah.
Well, because it's turned
Hippie.
into Bieber. Yeah, it's like
Yes.
it's not bangs.
Yeah.
Well, here's the
Uh,
problem though with this. You got to remember, Dugreka Scott is fighting at a disadvantage because he's wearing all denim.
he
It
wore,
doesn't work
he
well
wore
at the
denim
beach.
to the beach. What a dickhead.
What a dumbass!
Yeah.
Is he Canadian?
I mean,
You wore
Scottish is
denim-
basically the Canadian of the UK, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I can't believe
Um,
Ethan. You wore denim to a what am I looking for? What are
Cockfight?
these called? No, what do you put on when you put on those things on
Suspenders?
yeah, that's what Ethan looks like. He's wearing suspenders.
Yeah.
I know
No.
it's not. It's his gun.
It's
holster.
a tack vest.
He's wearing Hugh's clothes at this point. Remember
That's
that. Down to the underwear. It's weird. Like,
Oh,
Oh,
didn't
why
need
would he
that.
change that?
yeah.
It's
And
so
my
weird
most,
that they left that scene out.
My most uncomfortable shot of the knife in the eyeball.
Oh yes.
I hate
Such a
looking at this
great-
part.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is the whole. Let's go through it real quick.
Yeah.
They built an apparatus. This apparatus actually got this close to his eye.
Yeah. I
It's-
remember
it-
hearing about
it's
that.
fucked up that
Like
they
a
did
knife
it.
on a cable that
Yeah.
would only go so far. Yeah. But if he'd lifted his head, half
A
an inch.
sneeze.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
That's
Nope.
that's where the insanity of Tom Cruise started to.
Yeah. Is
you
this
don't-
pre or post couch jump on Oprah?
I forget what year that was. That's after
this
this,
is
right?
pre.
Yeah, this is pre. He
Okay.
just remember at this point he still had his
Because that was the
Handlers.
tipping point.
he
Yeah.
still had his handlers, and
Because
then
that
he-
came after Katie
Yeah.
Holmes. Like
Yeah,
she's
okay.
at this point maybe doing Dawson's Creek. I don't know.
She's
Yeah.
13 years old.
Sure.
Yeah.
I love this whole fight. It feels so much. It feels guerrilla. It feels like just down and dirty. I like how they're not. These guys don't come across as it's not Van Damme. Like they're not known for being hand to hand fighters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it
Which
it
is
feels
crazy
very
since
raw
they're
and
both
dirty
this,
and
yeah.
uh,
It is like a
Yeah.
melee. You'd think
Yeah.
this would be more polished because they
Right.
are both trained assassins, basically.
yeah,
Yeah, but this is the tornado kick that he does, like jump kick.
Oh,
yeah.
it's so good.
It's it's so weird.
The
Lots
double
of
kicks in
haymakers
this.
and like flying leaps and
Yeah,
Falcon Punch.
that's hard in the sand
Hadouken!
to get that kind of height.
Yeah, yeah. But
Especially for a little guy like this. Dougray has been shot in a hole. He's in a hole this
Yeah.
whole time. They
Yeah.
dug a 3 or 4 foot hole so that he could stand in it.
Yeah, we got cartwheel kicks. We got there's a lot of gymnastic kicks going on for somebody that's been wrestling in the sand this
And
whole time.
they're kicks that take him out of the fight too. That's what I love about
Yeah.
most of these kicks. Like knock him to the ground as
yes,
well.
yeah.
Like they're not cool kicks where you like his last kick. The final kick is the.
Oh yeah,
He doesn't even land cool. He lands like on his side, like in this weird
Yeah.
pose.
Mm.
And Dougray Scott technically did not die by Ethan's hand. It's a very Batman again, where I didn't kill him. The Rock killed him. So yeah, he gets his brain bashed in.
Well, he's still alive.
he's sort of dead. Spoilers.
He's mostly.
Mostly. I'm not dead.
He just starts to sizzle in that denim.
Yeah, this lived him out in the elements.
He's
in that,
cooking in his own
Australian
juices.
heat.
Yeah.
Oh, he is.
Because once denim's wet, you're not moving
Oh,
that well.
man.
That's
It's just all the
He's
chafing.
just being steamed
yeah.
alive right at this point. He's
All
like a
while this
lobster.
happens, Ving Rhames and Billy have been. I'm confusing it because I've been calling them by their names in
Sure.
the movie, and also
Yeah.
Luther and Billy show up because they've gone and gotten Naya,
Yeah.
who's about to throw herself in the water. They've got the. Here's what I don't understand. Ving Rhames looks at him like when he's about to get shot, and I was like, oh. When I first saw this movie, I remember thinking, oh, did Ving Rhames not think that Ethan Hunt killed people? Like when I first saw it, and then I'm like, oh wait, he's got a gun. Never mind.
Yeah. Like you thought the reaction was, oh, damn, you killed that guy.
Yeah, like you fucking
gotcha.
killed a guy. Oh,
That's
and then
not
we
what
get
we do, Ethan. Come on, man.
then we get the cool foot stomp,
Yeah.
grab gun fu.
Yeah.
He throws the ball. He throws the vial, pops the gun up into his hand. You know they shot this a billion times to get
Oh,
this
yeah.
right, and he
Give
misses.
him the right one. Give him the right file.
Dougray Scott like a
Yeah.
bitch misses his shot, and Tom Cruise shoots him 3 times while he's. It only shows one shot, but he shoots him 3 times.
Yeah.
He shoots him once in the chest, once in the dick, and once in the foot, just because that's how he
Then
learned.
shoots a pinky off.
Yeah. Yeah. Just the tip, though.
Just the tip.
So he saves the day. Bellerophon is being used on Naya. Everybody wins.
Mm-hmm. Especially us. I like how wrecked Naya looks. Like when she climbs out of the helicopter, she's just like, God damn it, either kill me or.
Yeah, please just shoot me in the head. Please double kick me in the face right now, so I can be passed out. See, that's the problem with this movie. Again, the stakes.
Mm.
At the end, the stakes are really only Naya.
Yeah.
They're like the
And-
world's safe.
Yeah.
and it's
Well,
like- which is
thinking
fine.
about this in a post-COVID light now, it's like, yeah, she could have infected all of Australia. We know how quickly this could have spread, you know.
Sure, but she was going to throw herself in the water, like she was going
It's
to die.
just Australia, though. It's
Oh,
fine.
that's true. Yeah.
I mean, that you can get. They have diseases all the time that we don't even talk about. And then
And-
my favorite, my favorite decompression, whatever you want to call it, debriefing
Mm,
with Sir Anthony. They go to
yeah.
a museum
Yeah.
in Spain again, I guess.
Sure, probably. Yeah.
This is probably not Australian art because I've
I
heard.
think
fun fact,
Anthony Hopkins
Australians
is on
don't have.
this. Anthony
Australians
Hopkins
don't
is
have-
on house arrest, and he can only film in Spain.
You're messing up my joke, George. Australians
Sorry.
don't have art. Don't have art.
Oh, they
institute.
have art. Well, they have the Sydney Opera House. Your joke is shit.
That's not art.
It is art. It's,
It's just a
architecture.
building.
I give
music.
you Crocodile Dundee. Thank you.
That's art.
All their art is just didgeridoos.
They man,
Jimmy
know-
don't.
I am going to apologize to New Zealand and Australia for this episode because they are catching strays like crazy. Criminality, dingoes, all. I mean,
So I was trying to screw up Jonathan's joke so he wouldn't start an international incident again.
Yeah.
I've been fighting the Australians for so long.
After the
I
whole
mean, how
Cuba thing with
tough could
Fast and
that be? They
Furious.
lost a war to emus.
Yeah,
So
They did.
you can
That's
look
true.
that up.
Just barely.
they lost the war to every animal on their
Yeah.
stupid rock is gonna murder them.
Checks and balances.
Yeah.
Yes, they are the laser to the chimera of the
Yeah.
world.
This movie has a weird
Kite?
feeling.
Yeah.
The last shot where they
The last shot, yeah, freeze frame,
what's that?
freeze frame. They basically freeze frame into.
No, it's just like Ethan and Naya just have a lovely stroll in the park, filled with so many extras. It's just it feels too
It made me-
sitcom intro. It feels like the
Yes.
intro to Full House.
Thank you.
You know?
That's exactly what I wrote down.
Except
Okay.
except for the lady in the striped shirt and her nubbins are very visibly on display.
We got nubbins.
You couldn't have told me this was the end of Steel Magnolias, and I would have believed you because
Or
at the end of
Jerry
Steel
Maguire.
Magnolias,
It just has
Oh,
that, like we've just been on a dramatic, romantic, family-friendly adventure,
This feels like the scene like in Terminator before the bomb goes off
Oh, yeah.
and everything
Mm.
vaporized. Like everyone's happy and then all of a sudden you're
Yeah.
dust.
this nuke goes off in the background.
I wish while they were out there, those same creepy kids were playing Ring Around the Rosie in the background.
Yeah. Yeah, that is the one thing that just takes me out of this ending. That just it doesn't feel tonally like we've just been on the same movie.
It's
I
like
like the
playing
same-
music from Finding Forrester in the background.
Yeah.
Same thing happens in 3 when they go at the end and it's his,
Oh
it's,
yeah.
or not 3. It's 3. No, it's 4. 4 is the one where they do that. Where they which one's the one where? Yeah, is it 4?
You're the
You
one
guys
that
can help
should
me.
know.
You should
yeah.
know.
I haven't done those yet.
Yeah.
It
I haven't
shows.
watched them 1 minute at a time. But yeah, it shows. But yeah, there's definitely a tonal problem.
Yeah,
This is not how the Mission Impossible movie should end.
but it does end with Metallica, so I'm happy about that.
Dun, 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 dun.
Hey. Yeah.
Like if it ended with him being handed a package
Yeah.
from the guys, you're like dun 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 dun.
Or if the bomb had gone off and he has to look at her, he goes like, "Gotta go to work, baby."
Or if he's standing there and out of nowhere you hear shunk and you look over to the right and there's a
Ding, ding,
sunglasses
ding,
bazooka
ding, ding, ding,
sitting
ding,
right there.
ding.
And he puts it on.
Yeah,
I needed something. There's no hijinks.
right.
Yeah,
But
what?
There's no hijinks and there's no team, and it really bothers me we don't see the team. Like the
Yeah.
team does
you
not
want to
part of
see
this.
Billy again?
Yeah, he was such an integral part of this movie.
I spent more time thinking about Billy and remembering, oh yeah, Simon Pegg hadn't joined the franchise yet.
Yeah, we had no funny guy yet. We
Yeah.
just had Ving Rhames.
This was pre-pegging.
We haven't been pegged yet. That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh boy.
What's your tech of the app, guys?
It's got to be those sunglasses for me.
For me, it's the. I think someone had at one point the gun, the Chimera gun is a cool
Mhm.
physical prop.
Mm.
Yeah.
I agree. I think I went and mashed all the masks because I love them.
Mash.
Mash.
Yeah. She.
Mashed. What about you, Patrick? What's your favorite cool technical thing out of this entire movie?
Oh, I said it early on. A muzzle that they shoot the virus into that
Oh,
like,
okay.
flashes. I just thought that was.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I
Oh
remember
yeah,
the
mine
most
was going to
from the
be
movie.
just really convenient ways to destroy your MacGuffin. Like really convenient, highly effective, highly technical ways to destroy your MacGuffin.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Um,
weirdly not that much tech in this movie that comes to mind.
Yeah, the laptop that they have and the satellite, but that kind of gets fucked.
This should be
with
called
the-
Kick of the App.
It's mostly
Yeah.
stagecraft. It's mostly
Yeah.
just
yeah.
we're putting on makeup and doing voices.
Honestly, that vocal changer, that is excellent tech throughout the movie.
Yeah. It's a nice little add-in that pays off.
Yeah. It just occurred to me that Ethan went on that mission at the end with his own face like in his backpack so that he could put it on
Yeah.
stamp.
You never know when you got to be yourself
Yeah. Okay.
or someone else be yourself.
Yeah.
Like when you're trying to get ready for a trip, you're like, what should I bring? I should bring a charger.
Whose faces should I bring?
You be Hugh.
Oh yeah, I bet he brought every person in that building's face,
Yeah.
and he had him just in case he gets to be John C.
C. McCloy.
McClure.
So
They're,
you
they're
can't,
like shrinky dinks. You just throw them in water and they expand.
Okay, I thought you could take like a picture, load it up to the mast changes, stuff like
Stay still, Hugh.
that.
So what's everyone's most heroic moment?
I believe there's a hero in all of us
I just finally know what I have to do.
that keeps us honest,
I'm here to fight for truth and justice in the American way.
gives us strength,
You will give the people of Earth an ideal to strive towards.
makes us noble.
And I know in my heart that it's right.
It's Naya infecting herself with.
Yeah.
That's what I
chimera.
had. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
I think that's the most heroic. It's funny that Tom Cruise isn't the most heroic person in this
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
Very selfless act.
What about most villainous?
This planet, these people, they are nothing to me.
You were made to be ruled.
The universe is power. You unstoppable power. Come to me, son of Jor-El. Kneel before Zod. And I am that force. I am that power.
In the end, you will always kneel.
Kneel before your master.
Oh, easy. But I'll let you guys go.
So is the most villainous the pinky cut?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
That's pretty evil.
That's
Cutting
where I
off
was
the
going.
finger of your lover. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine. What we didn't really even talk about it. It's how gross and creepy Ambrose is when Naya shows up at his place and she has to sleep with him. I mean, he basically like forces her to. He's about to make her change outfits to get into this dress that, and that makes like the way she sells that, where it's like she smiles to his face, but then she turns towards the camera, and then we see her real face.
Yeah.
How disgusted she is, but she is going to do it to, for this
For the
mission. That whole sequence, it's so gross how creepy he is. But yeah,
I agree.
yeah. Let's rate it.
3 shots out of. Wait, what's the rating system you guys use?
Three
three
arcing
nuts.
ropes. No, we're out of 5. 5
Okay.
stars.
I would say first viewing back in 2000, like a 2.
Yeah.
Agree.
But upon subsequent viewings, as being able to appreciate it a little bit more, probably more like a 3.5.
Okay.
Having seen all of them now, it's probably almost. I don't do halves because that's bullshit.
Sure.
I think it's probably a 4, but originally it was
Really?
a 2. It was a 2.
Yeah.
Because over the years I've kind of been like, this is, and also I had to sit with it for almost a year and a half. So I may be a little bit on the wrong side here, but yeah, I just made it. It's really good.
Yeah. What did you say, George? What was yours?
Well, I mean, 2 initially, then a 3. This
3.
version 3.5. Like
Okay.
a little bit more than like I would watch it again and not have an issue with it. Is kind of that
Okay.
ratings level.
Here I have, because when I do ratings like this, I like to read the 1 ratings.
Yeah.
Because 1 out of 10, those are always best. The awfulness is amazing. I blame John Woo for this one. Lame James Bond ripoff. That's funny. Time wasted. Simply the worst film ever made.
Oh wow.
Oh, here you go. Here you go. This guy was MAGA before he even knew it. We'd rather have no woman than this female character.
Man.
Thanks,
Brother.
incels.
Nice. Oh man.
One long self-indulgence in narcissism. Mission pathetic.
Wow.
Truly awful. I don't know what diabolical MTV farce means.
Well,
I get that.
this one was very like of that era, the MTV Movie Awards. They parodied this. This is where the Ben Stiller skit came from.
This gives a lot of music video cut
does.
vibes,
Oh, yes.
like a lot of over the top, little
Yeah.
I see where they're talking about that.
Yeah.
Oh, and this person is a Richard Roxburgh fan. He says, even the brief joy of Richard Roxburgh's Hugh can't save this film from failing badly.
Wow.
I always like to read those because I like this movie a lot, so
Yeah.
I don't need to read reviews that also love
Yeah,
this movie
Echo
unless
chamber
unless they're insane.
Yeah.
Like, this movie saved my marriage. That's the kind of thing you want to see in a
Yeah.
10 out of 10 review.
Oh man. I'm Obviously didn't hide my enthusiasm for this movie. It's not a 5 for me. Like I don't. It's the movie isn't a well-made 5, but
Correct.
It's enjoyable.
it's enjoyable. If you want
It's not that long.
If you want Tom Cruise, just pure action,
Mhm.
fuck, it's good. For me, it's a 4.
Also, I mean, this is kind of in his like peak pretty boy phase. Like
Yeah,
he
yeah.
just got
Yeah.
like, you know, the jaw. Like
Well, this is
before
when he
started
was
trying
still
to-
having to get movies as a sexy leading
Yeah.
man. Now
Because he
it's
would,
just,
I think, go from this to Magnolia because he's got the same hair,
Yeah.
which totally different like character, and it's still acting like in that movie, serious Tom Cruise, but
Yeah,
it's
now
still in
he's
that
getting
era.
movies as a powerhouse of acting, looking like an aged lesbian. But you know, they are
Yeah.
entertaining movies, so
Yeah.
we keep giving him like green lights.
Yeah, Patrick, where are you at with this one?
Honestly, I'm not as high on it as probably you guys.
Yeah.
I have it at a 3.
Okay.
It's a good folding laundry movie.
Yeah,
That's how I put it. Because the story you don't really have to pay attention to. I
Yeah.
like moments rather than the thing as a whole. Like I zoned out on a lot of the whole seduction stuff.
Sure.
With whatchamacallit, like her name now.
Tendiwe.
Yeah.
Naya.
Anyway,
So I zone out that whole section.
Travis folds his sheets like this, but the sheets are almost crispy like a cracker.
Ow! Why did the sheet cut me?
Patrick, you zone out. Patrick bones out. That's just different sides of the same coin.
I have something that might help, Patrick. I have a 10 out of 10 review that might help. with you.
Okay.
Oh,
Let's see.
The title of it is Short and to the Point. That's not where this goes. This is amazing. This film is sexy. Yes, sexy. I was very impressed with Thandie Newton. This is old, so yeah, it's gonna have her old name. Richard Roxbury's impressive. Dougray Scott did a fabulous job. Tom Cruise just gets better and better. His character is so real. This movie makes you smile. This movie makes you breathe funny. This movie is cut well. This movie is sexy.
I actually had a note.
was that written by Tom Cruise?
This is a sexy movie, but
They
didn't
say
feel
it
like
better.
didn't
They
felt-
say it better.
They beat
Yeah.
you to it, Travis.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
yeah,
know
well.
you think it's
I
sexy.
mean, I got
but-
there. Don't
This is a
worry.
gross movie.
The movie makes me breathe funny.
No. This is a gross podcast episode.
And
That
whose
too.
fault is that?
And speaking of our guests, why don't you guys, plug away?
Someone else wrote a 10 out of 10 review, but said that the first Mission Impossible movie by De Palma has a plot no one understood, whereas MI2 has a plot you don't need to understand. Okay.
Full
Yeah,
circle.
They
Full circle.
course corrected. They made sure it made up for De Palma's failures.
Oh, wait. This guy's review is Roger Ebert talking. He reviewed it and put Roger Ebert's in quotes.
He quotes himself.
He
That's how he
quotes
does
Roger
So-
Ebert in it.
Ebert thinks it's sexy, and
Yes.
it. Yes.
Okay.
It is sexy.
Jonathan, plug.
Gross.
What?
Plug.
Oh, is it plug time?
We-
I got the show we're doing currently is called Sword Boys. Go listen to it. We talk about sword movies. If you like sword movies, anything about like Highlander, Conan, we haven't done
Beastmaster.
Conan yet. Beastmaster. These are. We also have a Patreon where we watch like horrible, really bad ones. Not on purpose. It seems to keep going.
it just
to
happens. Yeah.
horrible ones. But Patreon, you can find us at patreon.com/swordboys. And Sword Boys episodes are on the Sword Boys podcast everywhere. And also Minute Impossible is a podcast that we're going to be actually reviving. It's in a different way. I'm not going crazy. I'm not going to do by minute anymore. I can't physically handle that.
Wuss.
But we've done the first 2 movies are completely done. Mission Impossible 1 and Mission Impossible 2. Go listen to it. Hundreds of thousands of people have listened to the show. They've made it super popular. We're super happy that people listen to it, and we'll be bringing more back. So Minute Impossible on all your podcatchers. And The Cast and the Furious, which also isn't being done, which is about the Fast and Furious movies 1/4 minute at a time.
Quarter
it's-
movie at a time.
You
Yeah.
nearly finished those. You got up to 8.
Oh, we're up to Hobbs, Slobs, and Cobbs.
Slobs and Cobbs.
Cobbs and
We
Slaw.
gotta finish that one, that horrible
Okay.
movie, and then we'll be back into the
How
we're in the modern
dare
ones.
you? That was a gem.
Now when you're watching it 1/4 movie at a time, it's
The
not,
hijinks. Oh,
it's not
off the
just-
charts.
It's all
so
the
bad.
Statham.
It killed our momentum. We both stopped. We lost the will to want a podcast after that.
Oh man. Awesome.
Right. George, do your plugs.
I mean, you can go check out Mogwai Minute, which is Gremlins, and then the second movie. So that's
Blow the dust off it.
yeah. I mean, listen, it's still out there. I haven't checked metrics in a while, but I guess some people still listen to it. Mostly I just guest on Travis's shows.
Yeah.
And my shows.
And just bring the R rating with you.
I bring it with me. Also, keep an eye out for Way to Do Minute.
Bullshit. That's
These recycled bits.
Keep an eye out for it. Keep waiting for it.
Always hold on to hope.
I'm doing Dark Knight Minute.
Yeah.
Have you heard about that show?
I got
what's
bad
going
news
on?
for you.
Oh no.
All right, Patrick, what do we got next?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Honestly.
Let me tell you, it's another sequel. We're stepping back into the Crow franchise with the Crow Salvation.
Oh,
This was a directed video
Yeah.
sequel, and I like it. I mean, I haven't seen
Really?
it in years, but at the time I liked it better than the second one. So it's different. It's a murder mystery kind of movie. Like, you don't know who killed the person that he's trying to avenge. So it's got some twists in it, and Kirsten Dunst is in it, and Fred Ward, is that his name? Fred, the guy from Tremors.
Remo Williams.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Two totally different polls, but we were accurate.
Yeah, yeah. I think of him as Burt Gummer, or not Burt Gummer, but
Michael Gross?
one of the guys from
Yeah, he's Bert.
Tremors. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he?
Kevin.
The romantic
Bacon,
lead between him
Kevin
and Kevin
Bacon's
Bacon.
partner
Yeah.
in the first Tremors. Yeah.
Yeah, I have never seen it.
Okay. Yeah.
You should
It's
see
got a-
also watch Remo Williams.
Haven't seen that either. I am aware of it.
Oh yeah, you got to see Joel. What's his face in
Asian
Yellowface.
face. Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, that's
Joel Gray
Joel Gray
playing a little Asian man.
Chun. My name is Chun. I love Chun. Chun is awesome, but not now. Now you scream. You're just like, why please just hire an Asian gentleman?
Very
playing-
problematic.
now you got me thinking of Short Circuit and the
Oh yeah.
portrayal of
Yep.
the Indian engineer.
Oh yeah.
You mean known Jewish man?
Yes,
Fisher Stevens.
Fisher Stevens.
That's it.
Fisher
yes.
Stevens. Yeah, that set everybody back a little bit.
Had no idea as a
His
kid.
name's Ben. Benny.
Yeah.
Why do I know the names of all the racist characters?
Yeah, you
That's
do.
what gets you there. We
You
can't
keep
help
blaming-
what.
Well, when I joined this podcast, there was some questionable accent work being thrown around.
Mm.
That's just because our Russian kind of goes into other things. It's
He
not our
keeps
fault.
blaming autocorrect, but I don't see it.
Oh man. All right, fellas. Shit. How do we
that was a
end these?
journey.
That
I don't
was
know.
This
I'm-
minute. We'll
I am spent.
self-destruct.
I need a cigarette.
Yeah.
Hey, Jonathan, before we go, so Rachel made Ella.
What are we doing? Are we doing normal stuff now?
Yeah, are we done? Are we done?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, I didn't
well,
know if you had a close.
until next time, citizens.
Stay ropey.
Yeah.
I want to be with you forever.
Only forever.
The Crow legacy continues when a young man is wrongfully accused of murder.
Alexander Frederick Corvus, do you have any last words? I love Lauren. I'm innocent.
Now, with the guidance of the Crow, he sets out to find the killer.
Where did you come from?
I'll make sure everyone knows that you're innocent, that you loved her.
What do you want?
I want to know why. I can't be alive, not without you.
Eric Mabius, Kirsten Dunst. The Crow, Salvation.
Thanks for listening to the podcast. Find the show on Facebook and Twitter at Real Comic Heroes. All music and audio are the property of their respective creators.